Hello. How's it going? Morgan's Famous Antics. Yeah, I'm starting to think that's your job when you're a lawyer is get into antics. I'm pretty sure that's all you do. I love it when a lawyer gets into some absolute antics. Oh wow, okay, hang on. I thought that would be smaller. Oh, I'm still playing with this layout type deal. Okay, hang on. We can do this. What the? Oh, thank you. Oh my god, thank you. Thank you for the resub. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. Awesome. It's time. Yes, indeed. It is time for absolute lawyer antics, because that's all they ever do. I can think of other famous lawyers who get into nothing but antics. Saul Goodman, for one. What's the other one I'm thinking of? Miles Edgeworth? Actually, I think I literally joked about that when Daisy played this, that she's just girl Edgeworth. Maybe I was right. I think I was actually right about that. I don't know. I don't really know for sure. I'm going into this completely blind other than what I've already seen on that one. So I like this. I do enjoy this this menu screen though. I do enjoy the soft lo-fi hip hop beats to get into lawyer antics about. Oh my god, hi. What is this? A hype train? When was the last time I had that? Wow, thank you so much, Greg. Hey, thank you. Amazing. Wow. Forgive me if the layout is a bit scuffed, by the way. I'm trying out something new here. I think it should be okay. Oh my god, hype train. Hype. 62% through level 1. Hey, if anybody else wants to contribute, that's awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Nice. Well, today we are playing a game that actually quite a few people in this community are into. It's called Of the Devil. It's just called that, Of the Devil. Lowercase OF, lowercase THE, uppercase devil. That's the name. And yeah, that's about all I know about it, is that and the kind of the tagline, not the tagline, but kind of the what is it called when like authors do the like, you know, what is it called when authors do the thing where it's like fantasy, cozy? am I just completely like, am I completely making this up? Speaking of the devil, exactly. Anyway, that's fine. Beep. Let me just... Okay, I think we're ready to start if everyone's all settled in. We're gonna watch and read and do the thing. I've wanted to get into more of a VN type of game for a while now. I did like most of the Ace Attorneys. I did like Danganronpa. I did a whole bunch of that stuff. So this is probably not anything on that level of like amount of content, at least not yet. Maybe they'll get there, who knows. Listen and learn. Exactly. All right, let's do it. Let's go ahead and new case, I believe. Episode 0. This is the one. This one is free, by the way. It is free to play the first episode, which I think is like the prologue. I don't know. And then there's 2 other episodes out which are paid, and then there's episode 3 which is not out yet. It might be longer than you think. It seems that way. It seems like they're cooking. Doesn't seem like they're anywhere near wrapping this one up. So yeah, let's go ahead. Boop. And as always, feel free to let me know if anything is weird with audio and whatnot. I think it's okay. I think everything's good. Of the Devil. Oh, that's slick. Rain sizzles off neon above me. The summer shower creates a noted uptick in the flickering of holograms down the street. and a slight blunting of the night's ambience. Emphasis on slight. Lights, cameras, and constant noise. This city's got insomnia, with the uneven heart rate to prove it. Okay, alright, okay. Bars. There's no escaping the secondhand nervous energy of it all. But I'm plenty acclimated. Just a wave of worries cresting on the surface while I hold my breath deep below. Me when I'm standing on the street of a city. It's true. It's true. Besides, a microdose of nightlife anxiety suits my mood just fine. 'Cause if I'm not careful, this client of mine's gonna die in jail! Ah! I'm scared! Ah! Morgan. Criminal attorney. It's hard to get away with murder these days. People are still presumed innocent, at least on paper. But by the time they're in cuffs, there's hardly any shadows of doubt left. Because this whole world's lit up, mapped out, never unknown, and always online. I mean, that's terrifying on its own, really. That's hard not to be terrified by. Hang on, sorry. Audio. That's fine. Always online. That's the most terrifying part of all, honestly. Whether it's incandescent or neon or hollow, whether it's LCD, LED, or just the nearest phone screen, there's light shining on every last pixel of the map. And someone's always watching. Solitude's a rarity. Anonymity is scarce. And criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. So you take whatever clients you can get. You don't balk at public defender work, no matter the hour. It's no longer possible to log off, it's true. Everything is an app now. It's true. And should you find yourself in one of the last dark, quiet corners left in the whole world, well, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Okay. Not that there's much else I can do until... My phone? Counselor, your public defender contract has been approved. You are expected at the 254th precinct. Present your ID at the door to enter. Arrive at least 50 minutes early. I'll try. Looks like the paperwork came through. It's nearly 3:15 now, 90 minutes since I took the job. Probably makes it about 2 hours since they finally got smart enough to ask for a lawyer. If they're really smart, they'll have used that time to get some rest. Because now that I'm here, things are going to get busy. Do-do-do of the devil, do-do-do-do of the devil, do-do-do-do. It's of the devil, and he shall appear. That's cool. Disable tutorials? I think I'm probably gonna need tutorials. I don't know, probably. Oh my god, there's no phone screen. It's no longer possible to log off because there's a phone screen up in the top left corner. Suspect not found. Precinct 254. It's a goddamn ghost town with nothing but a hologram for a welcoming party. I'm here about a homicide. High clearance rates be damned. You'd think they treat it with a little more gravitas. But whatever, if I'm that unimportant, they've got no right to complain if I take my sweet time getting checked in. And I should take my time. Information's like cash at my time of work, my line of work. You gotta spend it to make it. Nobody's asking how his phone. And if you're flat broke, no one will give a shit what you have to say. So let's see if I can't poke around and shake some change loose. Halt, heads up. Press the phone button or tap the phone icon in the top left to access the pause menu where you can save, load, or check settings. You can toggle auto advancing. Okay, yeah, sure. I can figure that out. I've played enough VNs for that. Points of interest you can check into as the area. You'll earn credit for investigating anything and everything you can. Credit is both a measure of your information gathering skills and your own credibility. So don't go broke. That card was cute. Ooh, observe, read, inspect. Oh my god, Transistor's so good. I love Transistor. High traffic hallways, utilitarian furnishing, multiple screening stations, pragmatic brutalism, so textbook it could teach freshman level architecture. Is she like this the whole game? I'm sorry, I love it. It's awesome. Can almost hear the building drone on and on about concrete and iron and hard right angles. The civil planning equivalents of battle scars. From a fight won so long ago that they're starting to look ridiculous. She's a little more okay, that's fair. She's doing the hard-boiled film noir detective thing for a bit now. That's fine. That's fine. I kind of love it. It's valid. I'm sure it was all very imposing back when it was built. But walking in here now with crime rates where they are, feels like a hospice wards for heavy-handedness. All that from a bench. Read a data pad. I'll bite. Even when they're more advertisement than article, they can still be informative. In a flowery, roundabout, corporate propaganda sort of way. Keep an eye out for articles in the environment. They offer insight in the world around you and credits to your investigation. Articles are added to your phone's reading list after you first read them. Choose the proper takeaway after reading them and you'll earn additional bonus credit too. Yeah, cool. Okay, we got text. Subway fixes axed. City to refocus on canopy. Declaring the subway tunnels to be irreparably flooded, city engineers announced this week that all plans to drain and repair the system were being suspended indefinitely. Saltwater damage to sensitive electronic cabling and erosion of key tunnel fixtures were cited as reasons for why 89% of the subway system was evaluated as critically compromised or worse. Civil engineering efforts will be refocused on maintenance and expansion of the hybrid super infrastructure system that weaves together trams, highways, walkways, and skyscrapers into the canopy high above our city streets. Reactions to the announcement could be characterized as blasé. It's been years since the subways last ran, and decades since they last ran on schedule. Most citizens have long since given up hope on them ever making a comeback. Online chatter barely reacted to the announcement, with most commenters and voters' attention focused instead on the growing investigations into Councilman Long's campaign finance irregularities. As one of the canopy's major backers in City Hall, Long has often found himself at odds with a small but vocal group of critics that consider it to be an eyesore and an amplifier of light and noise pollution. And with Long having stepped away from his political duties in order to more fully cooperate with investigators. For the first time in nearly 20 years, this typically rock-steady political foundation of the canopy was looking uncharacteristically shaky going into this week. But with the subways now officially no longer an option, people and corporations alike have little choice for how they complete their morning commute. However, not all reactions to the news have been negative. At least a few bold individuals see this latest report as vindication, and possibly even a rallying cry. Already considered by many to be a rising star in infrastructure solutions abroad, tech startup Subterra made headlines last year with their radical proposal for a system of personal submarine taxi pods that can make use of the flooded subway tunnels. But momentum stalled when their first prototype for the city came in at a disappointing 3.359% over budget. One council member was quoted as calling their system mind-bogglingly wasteful and impractical in the extreme. In light of this latest announcement, Subterra has probably declared their intent to resubmit their proposal package. Okay, interesting. It appears that you have 0 free articles remaining this month. Please verify your account information in order to continue reading the stories that matter. Welcome to Data Dystopia. Ballsy of them putting the paywall there, as if I'd reach for my wallet after having to read a word like aesthetical. Besides, I got the gist of it. The takeaway is that the city will be focusing its efforts on the canopy? There will be increased scrutiny surrounding the canopy now that there's no plan B. It's a massive project with a massive budget, lines the pockets of a lot of people, big and small. None of them would appreciate bad press at the moment, not when Councilman Long's already thoroughly chummed the waters. Chummed the waters. Okay, what else have we got? I guess it's just this window thing. An actual police lineup. It's like I walked into a museum. Though museums tend to feel expensive and clean. Dusty, forgotten, probably lots of unpacked boxes. This homicide department's more like an attic. Hard to believe they were ever so busy that they had witnesses making IDs in the lobby. Then again, it's hard to believe they were ever doing lineups in the first place. Are you certain? Wasn't it dark? Did you know that during traumatic events, memory formation is blah blah blah? Poking holes in that setup must have been like shooting fish in a barrel. And all during billable hours. But there's no room to sow doubt anymore, not when a modded witness can just submit their testimony as a video recording. Assuming their phone didn't automatically file a police report for them. Damn, they can do that? That's crazy. Okay, hang on. Let me see here. I think, what was the button? Settings. Okay. Is there is a little bit of screen tearing, so I want to make it borderless windowed if I can. I might have to just go windowed. Oof. Okay, yeah, I'll have to go windowed for that, I guess. Actually, give me a moment and I will try to make this borderless. I will try to work some magic here. I will play around with this. Hang on. Hey, that worked. Okay, cool. That should be okay. Okay, it's still a little screen teary. That's unfortunate. Oh, it was already borderless windowed. My bad. I saw full screen window and I was like, what? Use screen refresh rate. Maybe that's what I want. Oh, that works. Does that look okay on your end? I think that should be okay. Okay, so there's one more thing to look at. This broken screen. The medium's cracked in the corner. Looks bad, but my phone's made of the same stuff, and I'm rolling the dice every time it falls off the sofa. Ha! Could probably null the warranty on one of these things with a loud sneeze. At least it's not broken. Entirely. Even at this hour, it's still dutifully scrolling through its notifications. Looks like the usual 1-to-1 ratio of public health alerts and inoffensive pop culture trivia you always get served at state buildings. But there's a few missing persons, too. 1 year of silver plan coverage courtesy of Caduceus as a reward for any... Silver's no joke. Family must be getting desperate. Alright, I've taken in all the scenery and learned as much as I can here. Time to get checked in. Desk! It booted up fine, so far so good. Good morning. Morgan, here for the... Oh, okay, sorry. I saw blue text and I was like, Morgan, here for the public defender contract. Could you please provide your name and... Great, please stand still for a moment. That's good, that's real. I wouldn't call intake hollows charming, more like harmless. But that's probably what the designers were aiming for. People don't mind a quirk or two in their text so long as it never speaks out of turn. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble placing you. Could you please provide your name and a date of birth? So far so good, was it? Scan my card, just scan my face. Scan my card. Say, why don't you just scan my ID card? Great! Now, could you just confirm your date of birth for me? Why do they even bother asking? My birthday's on the damn ID card and my profile. I'd have to be a world-class airhead to get this question wrong. No problem. My birthday's... I don't know. Am I just saying something? What? Oh, is there a correct answer? Okay, that's funny. Wait. Oh, okay. I think oh, profiles. That's what they're testing me on. Oh my God. My brain has just... Okay, December 26th. Okay, cool. Cool. Likes puzzle smoking wooden furniture. Dislikes commercials, hairdressers, jogging. Talent, can fall asleep in any position. Coffee, decaf, drink, whiskey sour. Oh my God, I've been brain blasted. There's articles here. That's the same one I just read. Terms? Conductive resin, oh man. Holograms. Okay, there's a lot of like world building stuff here. So that's cool. I have 5 Morgan bucks, I guess. December 26th. Perfect. Good morning, Morgan, counselor. Thank you for your timely arrival and for taking on this public defender contract. If you're ready to speak to your client, you can proceed to counseling quarter 3C. Is that what we're calling it now? You mean the interrogation room? I'm sorry to have caused any confusion. My vocabulary is regularly updated to better reflect state standards. Don't sweat it. I can't keep track of every new euphemism either. They could call it the involuntary wellness check room if they let. Doesn't change the way that makes a person feel. Doesn't change the way it makes a person feel sitting in a stifled box of one-way panels. Nothing to see but their own reflection dully warped across gunmetal walls. Morgan, counselor, can I help you with anything else? Choices that progress the story forward will cause other options to shrink away when selected. Choices that will take the conversation down side paths and before returning to this point will not. Because of the article you read earlier, you've unlocked an additional choice in this dialogue. Read and examine at every opportunity to build up your knowledge and get the most out of every conversation. Okay. Okay, so I have two options here. What are you? What are you? I'm a smart user interface, proudly sold by Noble Electronics. Thank you for asking. If you're interested, I could send you a link with information about our subscription packages. Should I send you a link with information about our subscription packages? No. Sorry. That was a mean question to ask. Why the just... Oh, that's locked. Oh, okay, that one's unlocked. Okay, cool. I know the city's not terribly concerned with the lower wards, but this is a police station. Why is it so goddamn dusty? This facility is currently undergoing renovations. Since when? The 60s? It has been 22 months since the timetable was last updated. They really don't see a lot of action around here, do they? I'm sorry for any inconvenience you might have encountered. I'm adaptable. What about you? They ever gonna fix that crack? Thank you for asking. It has not interfered with my work. Well, that's all that matters, right? That'll be all, thank you. You'll find the counseling quarters past our homicide detective's office through the door to your right. Thanks. But I think it's just me for now, so you could go on break if you like. Automated dependents do not take breaks, Morgan counselor. Then what were you doing before I walked in? You'll find the counseling quarters past our homicide detective's office. Through the door to the right, thank you. Ads don't get breaks, and they don't get my jokes. But it's usually the humorless types that are the most fun to mess with anyway. Yeah. Oh, always going better or something? A voice. No, voices coming from down the hall. Bird of yours, probably. Thank God I stopped for directions. A building this empty, the desk could have just told me to follow the echoes. One voice sounds older, rougher, and decidedly low energy. What about me? They made a machine that can't mess around and steal snacks, and you're laughing. Honestly. Forbid I try to be serious. While the other rings with youthful indignation. It's not like a job is important or anything. Definitely cops. And at this precinct, at this hour, they might be the only two living, breathing people in the whole complex. So why else would you bother print all that out? One document or 100 looks the same on a datapad. Anytime you question a suspect, you need to have a heavy file in hand. Makes you think you know them better than their priest, their mother, their big brother. I wasn't going to say that. So how many of those sheets were blank then? I'm sorry. No red carpet tonight, officers? Oh, sorry about that, ma'am. We don't keep many extra hands around at these hours. Probably faster to let the desk handle intake anyway. But mostly cheaper. You the lawyer? I am. Morgan, Esquire, pleased to meet you. Same here, Counselor. Kasim London. And the ball of sunshine here is my partner, Farah Reyes. Ball of sunshine? She certainly is. Huh? Sorry if you were kept waiting. Chatter between the departments has been hectic all night. It's no trouble. Gave me time to enjoy my cigarette. Cigarette? Like tobacco? What are you, 80? She can't be more than a few years younger than me. We're the detectives in charge of this particular case. And it looks like tonight we're also your humble guides to the illustrious homicide department. Apologies in advance for any cobwebs. Pretty sure I've seen this London character around the courthouses before. He never struck me as more than just some old-timer. But I suppose being an old-timer is an accomplishment in and of itself in his profession. Sunshine is definitely a new face, though. Rigid in her posture and her attitude. 3 in the morning and her shirt still looks ironed. Freshly promoted, maybe? 2 whole detectives working at these hours? Sounds serious. Unless you were just the first to arrive on the scene? No, we're not nearly that timely. Uniforms responded to the emergency calls within a few minutes. Calls, plural. Must have been quite the commotion. Look around, you think we're the first to arrive for anything? She's not wrong. We were only tapped after circumstances at the scene indicated involvement with an ongoing investigation. Our ongoing investigation. Not very subtle, is she? But I may as well bite at this point. So you suspect this client of mine is involved in some separate criminal activity? Wait, did they really not? No, I guess they wouldn't put it in a public defender's briefing. Look, consider this a little professional courtesy. A fair warning, yeah? That's the heartbreak killer in that room. And we've got the bastard dead to rights. So if you're kind, you'll help him plead it out. And if you're smart, you'll pass this shitstorm on to some other night owl and go back to bed. I'm not feeling particularly kind or smart at the moment. She's funny. So perhaps in the meantime, you'd be so polite as to fill me in about this heartbreak killer? They cover utilities at the rock you live under? Is there a problem? You're seriously not familiar with HK? Never heard of him? I've heard enough of him for a lifetime. Oh, okay, so she's lying. Okay. Lies for just randomly lies. That's a character trait we have about our pal Morgan. That name has been plastered all over the city for weeks. Their crimes wavering between breaking news and urban legend. Their presumed goals flip-flopping from unadulterated anarchy to unappreciated vigilantism. At street corners, in the media, on the net, everyone's indulging in the exact kind of armchair detective speculation that I can't stand. But right now I need to figure out exactly how much the police do or don't know. And when it comes to cops, I always get better results playing dumb than I do acting smart. Oh, so she does like the solid snake technique of going like, the heartbreak killer, huh? The heartbreak killer. I take it he's a repeat offender. Was it the killer part that tipped you off? You must have at least heard about his MO. Media's gone crazy with it. Along with everyone else. 1 bullet straight through the heart, body left to lie where it falls. Hence the name Heartbreak. Not exactly creative, but amidst the swirl of every other 100-word article out there, catchiness trumps originality. What you won't read about online is that all 6 of HK's victims were shot by the same gun, without even needing to reload. Horrible to say, I know, but 6 for 6? That's pretty good shooting, isn't it? Hitting the bullseye at the shooting range is good shooting. Doing it 6 times in a row is great. But shooting 6 people with accuracy like that, it's a whole different beast. Takes a certain kind of monster, a real freak. His pulse probably didn't even rise. I see. Sounds horrific, sounds robotic. Hey, Sheriff, welcome, good to see you. You almost make him sound like a machine. Wait, there's a couple of things added here. Heartbreak. Criminal. Occupation, criminal. Likes, killing. Dislikes, getting caught. Favorite color, probably red. Zodiac sign, probably not into astrology. Reward, suspended due to influx of false reports. Farah Reyes. Occupation, homicide detective, 3rd class. Likes rice, limes, automotive history. Dislikes liars, small plates, cheat people. Enjoys watching product reviews. Bad at games of chance. Right eye, Osiris Elite 86. Okay. London. Likes photography, dive bars, bangs. dislikes ties, pollen, after hours work messages, listens to podcasts. Yeah, he seems like it. Terms, automated, dependent. Oh, these are like that's like the hologram we talked to. Okay. Is it possible that? No, it is not. There's no such thing as killer robots, madam. Of course, my mistake. So all those androids marching in the military, those robots patrolling in police uniforms, those drones dropping firebombs from the sky. I guess they're all firing bikes. Fair enough. Machines can kill, and they have been for decades. But they don't commit murder. Right. Evil, like heartbreak, is all organic. That's a pretty terrifying thought. I should really start paying more attention to the news. How I managed to miss 6 murders. Well, you can only blame yourself for missing 5. Pardon? You're still not getting it? HK's 6th victim was found a few hours ago. Well, we caught the son of a bitch red-handed. So you're convinced that my client is this heartbreak killer, and tonight was just his latest crime. That's a serious accusation with very serious consequences. I take it you have serious evidence to back it up? I was being literal, counselor. Huh? Red-handed, when we found your client, he was covered in her blood. Well, that's not good, is it? What you say certainly sounds compelling. Is that lawyer talk for open and shut? But even if that's the case, how does one crime scene make him look good for 6 murders? It's all there in the discovery files, and the ARCs, of course. Join the local net on your phone and we'll turn over everything you need. I'll bet. Thanks for that, detective. I'll be sure to read it over. But if it's all the same, could I ask you some questions while I've got you here? Hell kind of attorney wants to interrogate the detectives? This kind of attorney. You're just that pleasant. Come on, sunshine. Not like we're gonna be punching out anytime soon, right? Whatever, let your client stew in interrogation all night for all I care. You mean the counseling quarters? She's so funny. We're at your disposal, counselor. She's literally just causing problems on purpose. I love it. Iconic. Inspect. You shouldn't have cleaned up just so much for just little old me, Detective London. Someone really needs to introduce this guy to a filing system, or even a stapler. Paper documents scattered about lazily alongside actual photographs. Either he's really old-fashioned or really paranoid about data leaks. And he doesn't look like the paranoid type. He looks like the podcast type. Well, orderliness aside, some things are better in paper, I'll give him that. Barren, stark, and uninviting. This must be Reyes's desk. Keeping your workstation nice and tidy is admirable, but I can't spot a single mode of personalization. Is she so new she hasn't had time to unpack? Or is she really that uptight and boring? Both, maybe. Okay, here's another one. Latest noble androids receive warm welcome. Bolstered by strong earnings report. A strong earnings report and surging sales of the Animate 16. Noble Electronics stock rose a stunning 3% this week to a new record high, while Noble's latest iteration is yet to surpass the sheer popularity of its predecessors. An increased profit margin has left Noble's shareholders very enthused. Many investors were skeptical when, at their now infamous 2084 trade convention, Noble announced that the 16th line would be the first generation of androids to feature over 50% organic components. So-called warm androids, which at the time only saw demand in the health, senior, and childcare sectors, were looked down upon as impractical due to increased maintenance costs, cuts, scratches, bruises, and the like. Some critics voiced concerns that fringe religious and traditional groups might find warm androids controversial. You know what? I need to get some fluids in me. I will be right back. I need to get some water in me. So I will be right back in just like 1 moment. What? Okay, hello, I'm back. The cat was staring at me the whole time I was doing that. Okay, one more drink. Warm Android's controversial, more business-focused minds fear that Noble was alienating its customers in the industrial and military sectors in order to cater to civilian consumers. Users that viewed their androids from across the room and not from above the factory floor. However, as has often been the case in their last decade, Noble's doubters were proven wrong. The Anime 16 is poised to break profitability records with no signs of slowing down. Many analysts predict that these once rare organic androids will completely replace their more robotic predecessors in the next 3 to 5 years. Noble Industry Weekend, love that. Love how we're still using hashtags in this dystopian future. Hey fam, looks like you're not logged into this device. Want to put your account info in so we can help you keep reading? Oh god, they're even doing the AI thing, where it like is trying to sound like your best friend. I actually got a whiff of this once because Spotify has this like AI DJ feature where it like makes a playlist and it has like an actual AI voice to like offer commentary on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. The first time I accidentally clicked on it once and the voice was like, "What's up, Hazel?" And I'm like, no, don't talk to me like that. You're not supposed to know that about me. It was really unsettling, honestly. What's going on, Hazel? I've got a fresh playlist cooking up for you. It was something like that. I don't know. Terrible. Terms ARCs. Augmented reality crime scene is an investigative tool in which data harvested by the sensors worn on first responders is used to reconstruct a digital copy of the pristine crime scene. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. He's in the news again. It's no wonder, can't spit without it landing on a piece of Noble tech these days, especially not when the state's involved. Don't know if they'll bite when it comes to warm androids though. For government use, they're just... I think frailty was the... Yeah, that was the pop quiz. All androids undergo wear and tear, especially if they're directing traffic or suppressing crowds. So if these warm androids bleed pink all over themselves every time they take a rock to the cheek, it's just an endless stream of bad photo ops waiting to happen. I was riding home with a work colleague and their Spotify AI was like, "Been a long work day." Oh god. Oh my god, yeah, I was riding in a car with like, it was like I guess Waze has that. You know, like the navigation app Waze. And like every time we would approach a roundabout, it would be like, "There's a roundabout at 200 meters ahead. I see big possibilities on the way." It was literally saying that every time. It was literally saying that every time. No, please, no. Just tell me where I need to go. Terrible. Okay, what else we got? Loose wires, missing panels, an aircon system that probably sweats more than the people it's supposed to cool. No room in the budget for making the office not look like shit, huh? I expected to find a lot of belt tightening at Homicide, but I didn't expect I didn't think their operation would be this bare bones. Oh, I hate that so much. I'll never use it. They've got a stunning clearance rate and they work fast. Guess the city sees that and just assumes their job is easy. Maybe their job is easy, what with our dear doting surveillance state eliminating so much of the footwork. But if your wheels don't squeak, you don't get your palms greased. So Homicide ends up as the only state department with a shrinking budget. A dumping grounds for the police force's most unambitious and least popular. Yeah, just give it to me straight. Just tell me where I need to turn and when. Just that's all I need. Okay, nothing else jumps out at me around here. I've got a better idea of who I'm dealing with at least. Now I need to check out the crime scene data. I should have been sent a link. You've been granted access to state files regarding case KL433511. Reply C to confirm. Confirm. You need to reply C in order to confirm. Am I talking to a person? I am an automated dependent. Ads are usually more polite. Our personalities are tailored to suit our users' preferences. So the state likes you to be a little authoritarian. You need to reply C. C. It's case sensitive. Why would it be case sensitive? Thank you. All right, if I project from my phone. Oh. Oh? Interesting. Hey! So replied C. Do you think the AI just gets mad and like ghosts you or something? That would be funny. All right, let's see what the police have and what they think is important. Okay, this is kind of like, remember Arkham Origins that had this kind of? Man, that is allowed. Can I like, I need to, let me see about sound here. Audio. Okay, SFX needs to go way down. It's a little much. BGM is okay, but I need to turn down SFX. Okay, that's good. Inspect. A stand-up mirror shattered and knocked over. Real glass, no screens or cameras here. It was hit hard enough to come unattached from its arm, while shards of glass were scattered, far enough to land on the victim's body. What a mess. That's a gun. The murder weapon, a revolver found right next to the body. 6 empty casings found in each of the 6 chambers, meaning the gun's been fired 6 times. Looks like the crime scene techs practically disassembled the damn thing. But all they found were fingerprints belonging to my client. So he was found by the police with the murder weapon right in front of the body. I don't even know where to start. Highly prejudicial would be an understatement. We got a vase. Seems like this vase got tossed aside at some point. And yet there's not a scratch on it. Must be pretty damn durable. Isn't art supposed to be delicate? Maybe it's making a statement. We got the body outline. Or maybe just the victim's body. Cause of death. Ballistic trauma. Class 4 blood loss, atrium and aorta. Single gunshot wound to the heart in brief. Death was instantaneous. No injuries anywhere else, and no blood or skin under her nails. Blood spatter, forensics, and all that other good stuff tells them that she was shot from there. So the killer was standing in the doorway when they fired. That's all the big ticket items. What about the security? Looks like the apartment was unlocked all night. It's not uncommon for people their age in a neighborhood like this. But no signs of forced entry only hurts my client's case. What about the rest of the room? There's not much else flagged here. Just a lounge chair that got thrown and whatever that is. Unidentified ceramic debris? Flag is irrelevant? That's their technical assessment? Guess even the crime scene techs weren't sure what to make of it. Okay, that's everything that the police highlighted. But did I miss anything? I have a feeling no. Or yes. Oh, okay. I guess you just won't have anything else to select. Okay. How do I... Wait, what was that that just came out? Oh, okay, that's just like a... evidence. Oh, wait, there's handwriting. Same handiwork as previous 5. Live message to confirm ballistics match 2. Weighty and sturdy, it remains featureless. Has Flat's left-hand fingerprints on it. Glass shards. Pieces of glass from a broken standing mirror found at the crime scene. Said mirror was a lone tech furnishing with no digital components to pull data from. Hit with enough force to scatter shards onto the victim's body. Debris. Ceramic debris of indeterminate origin found at the scene. Found on the far side of the room by the western window. Technicians note. Flag is irrelevant on next pass. Okay. Oh, what was that? Oh, the hell is that? Oh, that's cool. I love that effect. The hell is that? Something in the victim's hand? How the hell did... It's just a pill organizer. Looks like some immune adjusters, NSAIDs, and triprexazone, a synthetic glucocorticoid medication. Yeah, this game has a lot of style. It looks very cool. Taken daily to reduce rejection symptoms like phantom pain and generalized itch. The autopsy said her talk screen was clear, but it's not like it matters. She could have swallowed every medicine cabinet in the city and it still wouldn't change the cause of death. It's odd, but ultimately irrelevant. Everything else here is all very incriminating, but the kicker is everything that's not here. No out-of-place DNA, footprints, crumbs. What was that? Pill organizer. IoT. Internet of Things. Ah! I know about the Internet of Things. Not interested in oh wait, this is hey, hang on. I want to read this. Internet of Things refers to the network data sharing that goes on between all the countless electronics that we monitor ourselves with. Phones, computers, security systems, biofeedback devices, body modifications and prosthetics, and of course automated dependents all comprise small but vital parts of this network. Without IoT's ability to collect, process, and share information, massive opportunity costs build up as individuals, governments, and private businesses miss out on the valuable insight that data has to offer. One of the coolest ways that IoT improves our lives is through the usage of crumbs, small packets of data containing your own unique identifying information. Throughout your day, as your own IoT devices say hi to other devices, they'll leave behind crumbs as a parting gift. Crumbs allow for paperless identification and payment and help the government manage human and vehicular traffic. Crumbs let you see where you've been so that you can see where you should go. Want to start leaving crumbs right away? Don't worry, crumbs are enabled by default. Not interested in sponsored search results? See further with a premium account. I'd like to opt out. Thanks, you can't. It's the future, baby, and you can't opt out. It's no longer possible. Nothing that points towards anything except my client. Well, I've done more with less before, but not much more. Burr, 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 burr. I'm really gonna have to sing for my supper this time. Better get stuck. Who the hell is messaging me at this time of night? Every day I get emails. First person who comes to mind is, I suppose it could be something important. Red, currently texting with Brat. What couldn't wait until morning? Good news, of course. Got a job for you. That's a pretty cheery way to tell me you violated parole. Not that, lol, not that kind of job. Besides, I've been covering my tracks. This is something different. Kind of thing I can't handle with just a keyboard and a phishing scheme. I need you to sue my gym teacher. Not that kind of lawyer, sorry. Hey, at least let me finish. What did they do? Make me run laps. Not illegal. Let me finish. They made me run laps. Even though I said I had a stomach ache. Said. Gotta be like youth endangerment. Depraved indifference or some kind of shit. Sounds like you've already got a strong case. Try self-representing this time. What's with the blow-off? Nice phrasing. Oh wow, I'm laughing so hard right now. See? Okay. Is that your mugshot? I wasn't gonna not get a copy of my mugshot and use it as a reaction. Glad you found a use case. But I'm working right now, so anything cool? Homicide. Oh, cringe. Wow. Wait, what kind of homicide? Is it HBK? Is that the kind of morbid thing kids your age talk about? I mean, probably there's like a million podcasts about it. There's probably some podcasts going, hello, my little murder muffins. Today we're going to be talking about the heckin' heartbreak killer. Cringe versus based homicide. Well, you know. That's the kind of world we live in. Howdy hodily, murderinos. Teens my age. And yeah, we can read. Compared to the corruption in the headlines. Old-fashioned murder like Hardy B is like quaint. It's not heartbreak. Then why'd you take the job, LOL? You see the 98% conviction rate as a challenge or something? You've taken up lost cause, probe nose work. It's pro bono. That was autocorrect. You know they give lit homework for a reason, right? This is borderline concerned nagging. Maybe you really are a bleeding heart. Or just a sucker. I'm not a sucker. Nice phrasing, LOL. You should go to bed, Fran. Tomorrow's Sunday. I can stay up if I want. Tomorrow is Sunday. Because today is Saturday. What's with the carpe diem shit? It's nearly 4 a.m., kid. You've got school in like 3 hours. Shit. Repeat offenders may be good for business, but that kid's bad for my blood pressure. Do we go to school on a Saturday in this universe? This really is dystopian. Important text message, I take it? Just your typical teenage drama. Do we have a profile on that character? No profile on that character, huh? Okay. I guess we'll find out. So then, if you wouldn't mind filling me in on a few details. Okay, these are all just information gathering. Okay, details. So how about the basics? What exactly has my client been charged with? Your client, Carlos Backer Flat, was arrested on the scene at 9:50 p.m. Using his middle name already? They really do think he's a serial killer. The charge being the first-degree murder of his girlfriend, a Miss Diane Dawn. First degree? That's increasingly rare, to say the least. It's rare for us to get handed anything but crimes of passion around here. City's got damn near more cameras than people. So you gotta be really, really stupid to try and get away with murder. Well, Heartbreak's gotten away with it 6 times. So what's that make him? 5 times, and that makes him insane. I was gonna go with extraordinary. Let's split the difference and say he's extraordinarily insane. But nut jobs like that aren't renowned for their ability to think ahead. So what makes you think this was premeditated? How about the fact that he stalked and killed 5 other women as a warm-up? A warm-up? She's really doing the Solid Snake thing. A warm-up, huh? A warm-up, huh? 5, huh? 5 previous bullets, 5 previous victims. None of them knew each other, lived near each other, worked in the same fields. Weeks of digital autopsy crawling up and down their online profiles. Profile flat. Charge, first-degree homicide. Criminal record, civil disturbance ×2, no charges. Registered at birth, modifications, industrial class 4, known affiliates pending, psych eval pending. Okay, evidence, victim. The victim, Diane Dawn, was a 27-year-old agricultural genetics researcher for Perigee Laboratories. Found shot through the heart in the bedroom of the apartment she shares with prime suspect Carlos Flat. No known connection with previous HK victims. Terms, digital autopsy. The law enforcement process of locating, bypassing authentication on, and investigating all a deceased individual's online profiles, commonly used to seek out possible connections to suspects or other victims. Terrible, thank you. How about no? One moment. Weeks of digital autopsies crawling up and down their online profiles. Nothing. So this serial killer chose his victims at random? If they have nothing in common, yeah, nothing in common at all. Other than that, they all look like cousins. The physical similarities are striking. All 5 prior victims were young women with brown hair and eyes, about the same height, comparable weight. Well, those features aren't exactly uncommon. Couldn't it be? A coincidence? If you really believe that, you should quit your job and start buying lotto tickets. HK's got himself a type. Anyone can see that. You really gonna try and tell me you don't see the resemblance? A young woman, brown hair, brown eyes. Can't tell how tall she is from a portrait, but I can take the hint. So you think what, exactly? That Carlos Flat wanted to kill his girlfriend so badly he went out and shot 5 other women first? Hey, if the shoe fits. If the shoe fits? Then you put the shoe on the... What Sunshine means is that it's not uncommon for killers to displace their violence from people close to them onto outlets with fewer consequences. So funny. Drifters, loners, strangers, workers. He was probably building up the nerve for tonight by first practicing on those other similar women. Or he's just so far gone that he can't tell the difference anymore. It's not the worst theory in the world, but it doesn't fit. They want to claim that those previous victims were practice runs, dress rehearsals for tonight's main event. But if that were the case, there'd have been signs of hesitation, nerves. But there'd have been mistakes. On top of which, guns are impersonal, execution shots even more so. There's no sadism or hatred or intimacy in a single bullet to the heart. Killing your girlfriend or her lookalikes usually is, if nothing else, a lot less sterile. If you ask me. Why did they say it like that? Why did they present the text like that? Huh? Okay, timeline. I saw the time of death was 9 p.m. on the autopsy, but do you have a timeline for the rest of the night's events? Can't trust much of what comes out of his mouth, but we've managed thanks to less biased sources. And we're pretty confident about what we've been able to piece together from their statements. So they've interviewed witnesses. Sounds eerily similar to real police work. The suspect and his girlfriend were arguing loudly with one another starting around 8 p.m. Neighbors were very clear about that part. Couldn't wait to tell us about the happy couple's domestic problems. Everyone in the building knew they'd been fighting for weeks. As you probably gathered from what you saw in the arcs, there was a struggle. Furniture turned over, glass shattered, but things go quiet sometime before 9 p.m. And then there's a gunshot. Scrubbers are still scrubbing, looking for audio from the area to get a timestamp. But we heard from enough concerned citizens to be pretty damn sure about the time. Emergency Services got a burst of calls from the block shortly after 9 p.m. No one seemed to recognize the sound for what it was. But the silence that followed was pretty universally alarming. Officers arrived at the street at 9:08 p.m., established a perimeter, enter through the open front door at 9:10, and then they find your client, crouched over his dead girlfriend, his hand covered in her blood. That was something. Net scrubbing. Okay. Yeah. Flat's coat. The coat the suspect was wearing when taken into custody. Taken by lab techs for additional analysis, but initial tests show blood on the left sleeve matches that of the victim. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break and run some ads. I will be right back. You can enjoy the lo-fi hip-hop beats to relax and study too while I'm gone. Yeah. Hello, I return. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Gaming. And then they find your client crouched over his dead girlfriend, his hand covered in her blood. At which point they move to secure the scene and the suspect. Sorry, did you say his hand, singular? Your client's modded. Mods? We gotta know about that. Mods? I spilled my juice, mods. Help, 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 help. Body modifications, aka mods, is a term that may refer to cybernetic prosthetics, artificial implants, neural enhancements, or any combination of the above. While body modifications have been seen throughout history and across a wide range of cultures, the modern body modification movement is differentiated by a shift from intrinsic factors, expression or identity, to extrinsic motivators, job opportunities, technological benefits, improvements in physical or mental ability. Historically, mods have been classified based on which section of the user's spinal cord the interfacing occurs at, thoracic, lumbar, or cervical, but this system does not account for mods which interact directly with the human brain. The increased prevalence of so-called above-the-neck modding in recent years has led to several corporations and medical organizations proposing their own new classification systems, but so far none have gained much attention. Users also frequently search for, can you return mods? Can you undo mod surgery? Best reviewed neural implants 2086. Oh god. Man. Sheesh. Cybernetic right arm. How modded are we talking about here? Registered with a HOW 85 habilis, industrial grade looks like. Says he's spec'd for dexterous manipulation of up to class 4 kPa, which means a minimum grip strength of, well, basically, he could crush your neck without even gritting his teeth. Considering a career change? No, it's not that. It's just, your eye must be very sensitive for you to put the patch back on each time. And here I thought you just had a 14-year-old sense of fashion. Oof! Morgan, that's mean! You think a cop would cover a predominant eye because it was fashionable? I actually thought the same thing the first time we met. You what? Getting back on track, that arm of his has been in the shop for some time now. He can't work without it. Money got tight. The arguing? Yeah. When did he put his arm in for repairs? 8 days before HK's first victim was killed. Well, no chance they'll be willing to chalk that up to coincidence. Your client was arrested on the scene after a preliminary scan found his fingerprints on the revolver. And no one else's. A revolver? What kind? The old kind. The real old kind. More specifically, a Calver M54. 6-chambered, 10mm. Calver? How retro. You don't know the half of it. We're talking steel chamber, real gunpowder, mechanical firing pin, and no tags. No tags? How is that? Just how old are we talking here? Yeah. 24/7 location data, time-stamped trigger pulls, safeties coded to owner biometrics. For the past 3 decades, tags have made shooting crimes very unambiguous. So you're claiming my client used some kind of antique to commit these crimes? Yeah. He took out the Rudy Tooty point and shooty. How else do you think he'd have gotten away with this 5 other times? He took out the doohickey. If he tried to buy a gun legit, he'd probably fail the very first psych check. And even jailbroken pieces are only good for so long before update withdrawal sets in. So then M54, that's model year 2054. A 30-year-old gun? Well, that sure complicates things, doesn't it? In some ways, sure. But pre-tagging firearms are rare. Gotta be less than 1,000 of them left in the whole country, and fewer still compatible bullets. Oh, my cat just did zoomies. What was that for? Whoa! My cat just zoomed across the room. The ammunition would have to be over 30 years old too. The novelty of his weapon has kept us in the dark so far. But now that we have our hands on it, it's gonna put him away for good. Archive department complained loud as hell about how deep they had to dig. But with the protocols they found, the techs were able to match the rifling marks on all 6 bullets to the gun your client was found with. Rifling marks? Bullets fired from guns that old are marked by the barrel's shape. So if all 6 bullets had the same rifling marks, we know that they were all fired by the same gun. It's not as plug and play as tags are, but it's equally precise science, I assure you. And if that's not damning enough, the spent casings from the other 5 shootings were still in the chamber. Without even needing to reload, the caliber your client was found with is the gun HK used to kill 6 women. No way to lawyer around that. An untagged gun. Just being anywhere near a weapon like that could warrant your arrest. Being found by the police over a dead body with an untagged gun used at 5 other crime scenes is just... To summarize then, you believe that my client fought verbally, then physically with his girlfriend, and then he retrieved his weapon and shot her. Yeah, pretty much. How did he look when the officers found him? Guilty. How was his effect? Quiet? Detached? Stiff? Not exactly the picture of a grieving partner. That reaction may have lost some points with the cops, but beyond that, people react to loss in all kinds of unusual ways. And so as long as the police are suspicious of you, there's no right way to grieve. That is true. That makes sense to me. Checking my phone here, and I have to say, you've done a pretty admirable job keeping all the details of HK's crimes secret. Terms, Heartbreak Killer. Wait, hang on. Heartbreak Killer. Hey there, it looks like you're trying to search for a term related to an ongoing investigation until authorities have made their findings public. Results may be heavily curated or temporarily unavailable. Oh, cat's scratching now. Can you hear that? Of course she walks away as soon as I put the mic up. Of course. Of course. Of course, it's like she knows. She's so content-brained. Calver. A manufacturer of civilian firearms from 2031 to 2062 when it was bought out by Thor Tech. Though no guns have borne the Calver branding since the product heralded in 2060, the once iconic brand was briefly revived in 2071 Q2 with the series of video game memorabilia tied in promotions meant to increase in-game item sales, or being discontinued in 2071 Q3 for failing to increase in-game item sales. That's funny. Mechanical limb boasts an impressive combination of grip strength, dexterity, and low cost of maintenance. Calver, yeah. Okay, yeah. You've done a pretty admirable job keeping the details of HK's crimes a secret. The less reputable sites are doing some real journalistic acrobatics trying to piece together a story. Yeah, top 11 theories on who hurt HK was a real weighty read. It's not just journalists, though. All kinds have been emboldened. The freaks that HK's managed to bring out of the woodwork in just a few weeks? Can you blame them, though? I mean, he's a genuine serial killer. Repeat offenders in general are endangered species, but he's gotten away with... We know what he's gotten away with. Take a look around us, detective. National DNA registry is robust enough that cases never go cold. Cameras on every street, a phone on every citizen, violent crime at an all-time low, and clearance rates at all-time highs. But you're gonna spout some alt-Paul bullshit about invasion of privacy? What? Oh, man. I must read the blue sky of this alternate universe. I must read the social media of it. Hi, Batman Twitch. Yeah, peak. Yeah, this is really good so far. I enjoy it. It's very good. Very cool art style. Very, very, very snappy writing. I enjoy it. It's a good game. I may actually end up buying the other episodes. No, I'm not. People are safer now than at any other time in history, detectives. So when someone like Heartbreak does come along... Good point. London's trying to look like he can laugh it off, but pressure from the higher-ups must be reaching its peak. They want, maybe need, to see someone charged, and that makes them predictable. That's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, well, even if there's nothing standard about HK, Department SOP still dictates we starve the media for case details. That way, when we do feed them, they're grateful for whatever scraps they get. But we can't take all the credit this time around. Homicide's tight-knit and tight-lipped, but it's not like there's much information for us to leak in the first place. Thank you very much. Hope you have a good time. Hope you're doing well. And why's that? Because none of the shootings were caught on the opt-in crime surveillance system. How is that even possible? I know that there are some rough areas in the lower wards, but Optics is watching every other street in the entire city. You're saying you haven't seen this killer on camera once? You think we'd have let him kill 6 people if we did? I understand your concern, man, but Optics is only what it says in the name. Private surveillance systems signing up to feed into the state's security network. It's not perfect, just another one of the many public safety tools in our belt. It's not meant to be perfect, it's meant to help us solve crimes. Or at least act as a deterrent. One would hope so. Fat chance. Deterrents are for war rooms and board meetings. Anyone crazy or desperate enough to commit a crime in a city like this couldn't care less about anything as vague as the consequences of their actions. It's like a safety blanket, one with very few holes left in it. But it does have holes. Patching up those remaining holes takes effort, and that effort usually means rebooting the system. There's all kinds of technical details and digital bureaucracy involved. But the end result is that there are occasional localized blackouts, and the math used to schedule them is not impossible to predict. I see. But those windows of opportunities are small and short. Taking advantage of them requires specific knowledge. You need to be involved in law enforcement, pub data, or city planning. They'd have mentioned it if my client was a cop, and he wouldn't have needed a public defender either. His file says he's modded for heavy mass manipulation, not tech interfacing, so that just leaves city planning. So does he work construction for the city? HK's only ever struck at times and locations where optics would be down. Even with the devil's own luck, it can't possibly be coincidence. Wait, so you're saying when this woman was killed? Yeah, there was a blackout from around 8 to 9 tonight. Right on schedule, so to speak. And it included the area surrounding the victim's apartment. Of course! Well, what about DNA from the other crime scenes? Was my client a match? There's been no blood, no saliva, no suspect DNA at any of the crime scenes. No footage and no forensics? Also no motives, tampering, or witnesses. It's been like hunting a damn ghost. We didn't even have a murder weapon. Until now. Finally, a lucky break for the boys in blue. Scanners, cams, drones, forensics. No matter how you dress it up with tech, all detective work relies on one basic assumption. People make mistakes. But HK is the kind of monster who doesn't make mistakes. Only reason we even caught him tonight was because he finished what he had set out to do all along. So, was my client on the list of suspects before tonight? Weren't you listening? There was no list of suspects. We questioned some X's, a few CIs. Someone even spoke to 1 or 2 unlisted at some point. Nothing came of it. There was talk about starting some kind of psych eval or something, but I never expected much to come of that. There's just not enough there to work with. In other words, the only thing they have, the only thing they could have, to link my client to those killings is the murder weapon. If I can jostle that keystone, then the rest of their case should start to come loose as well. Androids and cops. By the way, I couldn't help but notice that you're light on staff. It's 3 in the morning. Were you expecting a parade? I thought there'd be at least a few androids around. Aren't many androids in any police station this week, not while the brass is renegotiating contracts. Contracts with Noble? Good guess. Hardly. They're the biggest. Hardly. They're the biggest robotics corp there is. Ha ha! Oh no. Could spend all day in Center City without leaving their office's shadow. Yes, we're very fortunate to have them headquartered here. Saves us some money on shipping, at least. But these talks never last that long. I'm sure they'll be back to writing checks for Noble ads by the end of the month. Even with Noble pushing those warm androids? Warm, yeah. Might as well call it the adults line. Might see him in the bigger departments or out on patrol, but not around these offices. Warm or cold, there's no such thing as an android detective. Yet. Yet? Really? Any day now. Yet? You really think that'll happen? We already use ads for patrolling, securing the scene, pacifying crowds. Doesn't seem like that big of a stretch to me. You're joking, right? Android detectives. With all the pain we go through getting witnesses to talk to us. With your warm personality, I can't imagine. A cop knocks on your door, starts asking questions, you're gonna be put in a bad mood. An ad knocks on your door, calls you a degenerate criminal in a synthesized voice loud enough for the whole neighborhood to hear. You're gonna start posting shit that'll get you put on a list. Well, we certainly don't want that. Oh my goodness. But flesh and blood witnesses are becoming less and less common anyway. Cameras, sensors, satellites, we already get all our facts from machines. Give it a few more years, it might make sense to let machines do the investigating too. No, dude. Okay, Mr. Podcasting. Okay, Mr. Podcast listener, I think you've been listening to a few too many podcasts. The union would. The police union wouldn't let that happen. She needn't have specified. It's the only real union there is anymore. Thanks for the chat, detectives. I think I understand the background well enough now. Candidly, I see the same strokes as you, and the picture it paints isn't pleasant. But even so, it seems a bit unrefined to be brought before a judge, don't you think? Hey, it's only our job to catch the bastard. The DA is the one who gets the conviction. Besides, we're not exactly going to have to work hard to convince anyone of his guilt. And why is that? Because we found a handwritten confession at his desk. Oh no! Well, that's unexpected. I'm sorry, you're now telling me that he wrote a confession? Has it been verified? Not yet. We have to muscle past everyone in fraud and disinfo to get to the front of that line. Why bother? The note's covered in his fingerprints. There's a copy in the discovery data, but I should warn you. It doesn't exactly make for light reading. I'll have to manage somehow. I need to see this confession for myself. Okay. Sorry for everything. Can't say it enough. Didn't mean to hurt you or do what I did. Did not want any of it to happen. Can't stay in control when I get mad. When I'm not in control, I hurt people without meaning to. Wish I hadn't broken them. Didn't mean to at first. But I was hurting. Wanted to hurt too, but didn't want to hurt you. Wanted you to hurt too, but didn't want to hurt you. Words aren't enough, I know that now. I'll take responsibility and do what I've been avoiding. Please forgive me. Okay, this is very vague, is the first thing I'm thinking. This doesn't specify any actions. It's all very non-specific. I'll take that could be about anything. Taking responsibility. I don't know. That was difficult to read. Barely legible, in fact. Well, got a spin on that? No need. But it's a confession. Not a confession that he signed, though, is it? Not yet. And not one he intends to sign anytime soon, considering that he asked for representation. Yeah, the most wanted man in the city asked for a lawyer, and got you. Guess you're both lucky. Hardly, I just happened to be awake when the call went out. But I'm not so flush with work that I can afford to turn tail now. So if you don't mind, I'd like to go and speak with my client. What? He's not still handcuffed in there, is he? Look, counselor, with all due respect, we have strong evidence pointing to that man being responsible for 6 murders. 2 hours or so in cuffs isn't cruel or unusual, and that's for your safety as well. It's kind of you to worry, but I doubt I'll be in any danger. Here, yep, it's crime time again. Crime is back on the menu, and it is more mysterious than ever before. Nobody's gonna find the trail of these 6 bodies. Maybe, we'll see. He's killed 6 women. Yeah, we're specifically a criminal defense attorney. Which is very interesting. I said it at the beginning, but I'm starting to think that part of the job of being a lawyer is just getting into some crazy antics. Like, it's just that kind of job. He's killed 6 women. None of them were redheads. Oh my God, Morgan. That's crazy. How much do you know about the game prior to playing? Well, I watched my spouse stream it, but like I wasn't. But like, you know, I was absorbed. I was. It was like I think it was about the first 2 hours. I don't actually remember most of this. I remember the first portion very well. I might have gotten distracted or taken away. No, I think I might have actually passed you by now. Is that right? Maybe I have, because I don't remember much of this. But yeah, I didn't really know that much about it. I just know a few people who are really into it. That's pretty much it. No spoilers, if that's just to put that out there. No spoilerino. I am going into this completely blind. Seriously though, I'd like to speak with him alone now. Camera's off, if you don't mind. Huh. Mic's on or off is your call, counselor. But we'll be watching the feed from right outside in case anything bad happens. And the cuff that is, stays on. That worried about me? How chivalrous. Yeah, my armor's practically blinding. Gross. I'll start up the unlock cycle. Counselor, just one last word of advice. If you have any interest in his well-being, I suggest you help him sign that confession. Not a bad idea. I do get paid either way. But the defense part of defense attorney isn't just for show, detective. I mean it. 6 people dead is one thing, but he's also caused weeks of widespread terror and public unrest. Putting it another way, he's made the state look bad. That's a capital crime if there ever was one. And even if the death penalty's not actually on the table these days, I can guarantee he's not gonna like whatever rehabilitation plan they've drawn up for him. Look, I've seen the virtual work release program in person, and it's being challenged before the Supreme Court. Wait, what's that? Tell me about that. No! Tell me! I need to know! Why? There's a Supreme Court case about this, so I can't read about it online. That's great. I love living in dystopia. It's awesome. It's so amazing. Optics, smart UI allows you to search through and collate footage from a city of tens of millions in just a few simple keystrokes. Great. That's also awesome. People can just do it. Yeah, sometime in the next decade, maybe. Just remember, a plea deal might feel like a loss for you, but if it keeps him from, well, that's probably a win for your client, right? Prison sentences are generally lighter for those who plead guilty. That much is true. It saves the courts a great deal of time and money, and they show their gratitude with reduced sentencing. But no one will ever be grateful towards the heartbreak killer. Anyone convicted for killing 6 people, they'll never rest their mind another day in their life. Door 3. Uh-oh. It's not looking good, gamers. Okay, is this our guy? It's depressing as hell in here. They need to liven this place up. She is always doing the most. Carlos flat, right? Hope you don't mind if I get comfortable. We've got a lot to cover, but this shouldn't take all night. What are you... Look, I already told you people, I'm not a cop, Carlos. Furthest thing from it. I don't know about furthest, but I'm a lawyer. Your lawyer, in fact. And I'm here to help you. Yeah, well, they said that too. All of them did. Back there, in here, kept repeating it the whole ride over. They said that they were going to help me, that they knew this was all a mistake. Carl Round. That was the real heartbreak killer, and we never even knew. Then they said that I killed Acted like they were on my side and they thought that I could have... It's not their job to help you, Carlos. But it is mine, and I'm here now. He's still in shock. I need more information, but if I approach this the wrong way, he'll just clam up even more. I'm sure you're exhausted. It's probably difficult to think, let alone speak. But I'd like you to try and answer a few questions. The police already questioned you, I'm sure, but they were treating you as a suspect, not as a client. Okay, so what do you want to know? About you, about the victim, about the murder. About the victim. I could start there if I wanted to see what a panic attack looks like. Gory details like these have their own kind of inertia. Hard to get the ball moving, but once it starts downhill. For now, I should just get him talking about anything. We'll get to the juicy bits soon enough. The juicy bits, you say? Morgan Esquire. Let's start simple. Something mundane, grounded, rote. I'd like to know a bit more about you first, Carlos. Something like, what line of work are you in? I'm with city engineering. Or I was, or I should be. As I thought, the police must be convinced he mapped the optics blackouts using data he stole from work. My arm, I got it slotted for the job. And, Carlos, I'm gonna need more than that. So what do I know? He works in city engineering, not a desk job. Reyes said he was modded for work, and that arm must be in custody at the moment. But based on his shoulder, it had to be pretty... utilitarian? Utilitarian, yeah. He doesn't strike me as the type who's enamored with the aesthetics of modding. The young and the restless and the rich, swapping in neon and chrome limbs because they like the way it looks. Or the way it makes other people start looking at them. No, he's pragmatic, grounded, and very unlucky. In which case, I should be too. You know, my brother wanted to mod. Really? Really? I don't even have a brother. What is your problem? He had everything planned out. A whole career path of promotions and bonuses and the upgrades they'd afford him. Then came his 18th birthday present. Test results politely informing him that he's not a viable candidate. That sucks. I think he felt relieved, actually. Seemed like it was a weight off his chest. Like he was glad that he didn't have to choose. Does that make any sense? Yeah, I think it does. I always figured if I'd start at all, I'd start small. A hand or an eye. Test the water. Never thought about lobbing my whole damn arm off, but the recruiter was enthusiastic. He said, because of the NCDA, there was financial aid and resources. Of course, that got shit canned, so now me and every other modder is royally screwed. Couldn't even let me keep the tax credit. The new Citizens with Disabilities Act was amended, not repealed. But I doubt he'd appreciate the distinction at the moment. I work the tighter spaces, the high volt environments, mostly canopy upkeep. Typical stuff for modders, you know? He's speaking freely now. Don't need to do much more than repeat his words back to him to keep him talking. But the right word choice here, I literally said that's what she's doing. And she just says it. Wow. Wow, I'm good. Gaming. But the right word choice here or there can still make a difference. You work on the canopy. You must be under a lot of pressure now that the subways are cordoned off. Damn straight. And this crap was long? Once word got out that the case against him was real, every desk job in the chain became terrified of their own shadow. All of them convinced that Eternal Affairs is going to come knocking if they misplace so much as a paperclip. Everything by the book means no room for compromise, no room for problem solving, no room for engineering. Yeah, and no patience for screw-ups. He's trying very hard not to look at his shoulder. Why aren't you wearing your prosthetic right now, Carlos? Yeah, that. Rejection issues, starting last month. A lot of sleepless nights. Rejection? Did the therapy not take? It's not like that. I wasn't oozing pus out of my sockets or anything. Okay, what's that about? Mod therapy, the process of adjusting the human mind and body for the unique challenges and stresses that come with cybernetic body modifications. Typically includes physical therapy, mental technique instruction, and sensitivity training. Depending on an individual's viability or lack thereof, medications and even minor viral tuning may be employed to modify the body's immune response, but improvements made in recent years in medically sterile alloys have greatly reduced the percentage of the patients that require such treatment. Great. Scientific advancement. Then do these rejection issues have anything to do with your scars? Not in the way you're thinking. I'm right-handed. So those cuts on his face are just from shaving? Never thought this would go on so long. I'd have to relearn how to do everything. I mean, the problem started small, trembling, but then spasms. Just oversensitivity, they said, an easy fix. But the problem got bigger. Couldn't let it get that far. Need to be able to trust your own hands when you're on the job site. Drop a cutter at the wrong moment and people could get hurt. So I sat down, made an appointment, turned in my arm, and watched my case get placed at the back of the damn line. Where did you turn it in? Some mass turnaround chop shop with a waiting list like you wouldn't. It doesn't sound like you're a happy customer. Hell no, I'd found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times. But as long as I'm renting and not owning, the manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance. And that's why I'm sitting here with this expensive ass stump for a shoulder. I haven't been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I've got 2 working arms again. You couldn't buy or rent a replacement yourself just in the meantime? I serve at the pleasure of the state, and they've got exclusivity contracts with Hindi, all locked up white knuckle tight. Hindi? How Industries? As I recall, he's registered with one of their Habilis models. If I took one step on site with uninsured tech, forget the fines, I'd lose the down payment and my arm, and I'd never work in the city again. If this was last quarter, maybe I could have worked something out with management, but like I said, no one's sticking their neck out for anyone now that Long's in deep hot shit. You mentioned discomfort. Oh, there's new profile stuff, I think. Student debt sizable, luck poor. Man, this guy. Hindi. How Industries. You mentioned discomfort. Are you in pain? Pain will come and go. It's the itches that kill ya. And the phantoms come back pretty fast when I don't have anything. Wait, okay, that's a new one too. Phantom pains. Pain or discomfort that the brain experiences come from an amputated part of the body. Yeah, that's a thing. Arm shaped attached to me. Didn't they give you something to, well, wear in the meantime? Something that the clinics lend out for cases like this? What they gave me is a deadweight, 3-jointed, landfill bait piece of shit. Sorry, it's a very shitty feeling having a part of your body that you know they cut corners on. It fits. It's compatible, technically. I can slot it in and feel on balance again. But the fingers don't even bend, and the quick twitch motors are way off. It's like walking around with your arm asleep, or dead. So were you wearing it when you were arrested? No, I wasn't. But I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging it as evidence, so can't have gotten too far. So Detective Reyes was being quite literal about how he was found. He had the victim's blood on his left arm only, but because at the time in question, he didn't even have a right. No inconsistencies in the story so far, and he's opened up about as well as can be expected. But this has all just been a warm-up, for the both of us. Now comes the delicate part. Yo! Carlos, you and the victim were romantically involved. How long did you two know each other? Right, I've known her since college. We shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Always got along. Eventually, we just got together at some point. Guess I never actually asked her out the real formal way. Sounds pretty cowardly saying that out loud. Diane, she was in genetics, focused on studies on agriculture. It always takes them a few tries to get used to using past tense. Just finished her post-grad work this year. Got hired right out the gate, practically headhunted. You believe that? Practically headhunted. Of course she was. Any company would be lucky to have her. Unlike... It was a real-ass job, paid real-ass money too. So her career was starting to pan out. Right as yours had fallen into the mother of all slumps. Where was she hired? Pedigree? No, Perigee Laboratories. I say that like the name matters. The whole setup's under Harco's umbrella. That doesn't narrow it down. The Harvest Corporation grows a third of the soybeans and corn in the entire country. One client that size, the lab wouldn't need any others. Now, no corporation earns the mega prefix without a little throat cutting, but Harco is about as tame as big business can get. Predictable like the seasons. No one's gonna buy that they had some lab tech murdered because of corporate greed. I don't know, crazy things have happened in the world. Had she adjusted well to her new job? Yeah, they loved having her there. She never mentioned arguments or disputes. Corporate politics getting rough? I don't think so. Not like I've been a good listener lately. But I never got the impression that she... Look, no one I know can do this to her. And there's nothing she could have done that would deserve what happened to her. It was a long shot, hoping for a disgruntled character from her past to shift blame onto. But with no other suspects, I can't just reshuffle the detective's suspicions. I'll have to disprove their argument entirely. Thank you, Carlos. That was very helpful. It was? Now I'd like you to try and tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight. Harco is tame as business can get. They only have 12 counts of illegal slave labor and money laundering. Compared to the other megacorps, that's tame, right? Oh gosh. Don't look up anything. Anyway. Do not look up the name Harco. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Especially don't look up Harco slave labor, you know. It's that kind of thing. Now, I'd like you to try and tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight. Start at the beginning and take your time. The details are important. All right, Miss, Morgan. I'll try, Morgan. When you're ready. We were arguing. We had been arguing a lot lately. Arguing about stupid stuff. I haven't been working, haven't been making money, haven't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself. But more than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous over nothing. Jealous over goddamn money. The reports say you were arguing around 8 p.m.? 8? Yeah, must have been when we started. We got into it, and I said a lot of things that I shouldn't have. And I said one thing that I really, really shouldn't have. I crossed the line, and we both knew it, so I left. You left? Yeah. Walked out the front door. Thought some fresh air might help cool me off. Help me figure out what to say to make it up to her. Of course, the air wasn't fresh, just humid. Thick like mud. And while I was pissing away the time, Diane was... Did you bring your phone with you? Or any other electronics? No. I kind of stormed off. Didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind me. With optics down, traffic and street level cameras won't help him. That leaves... Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with modded eyes? Did you buy anything? Cash or credit? No, not even a vending machine. Not even a damn vending machine, huh? I may have met my match. How can anyone be this unlucky? That's quite unfortunate. I just wanted quiet at the time. Wanted to wallow in it, really. Sorry if I don't have all the details straight. My head is... But if my exact route would help, the camp's probably... What is it? Optics says, what? Can that even happen? And there's no other proof that you were out at the time Diane was killed. Meaning you've got no alibi. This can't, listen, I didn't do this. I couldn't. Carlos, I'm the one person you don't have to try to convince. After all, I'm your lawyer. Okay, that's me doing Better Call Saul. So let's just get it out there and see what we have to work with. Right. Now you said you left to clear your head. So what made you come back? I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. Didn't know what it was. But it was loud and it scared me. And it came from the direction of our apartment. I was walking back at first. Yeah, it just has like a 10-second little theme song that plays. I was walking back at first, but at some point I must have started running because when I got back, I was so out of breath. And when I saw that the front door was open, something dropped in my chest and my lungs wouldn't. You live on the first floor, right? Yeah, first floor apartment, street facing entrance. We were proud of that when we first moved in, like it was some kind of big deal. From the hallway I saw her, but I didn't realize. I never thought that she was. The lights were off, the whole room was a mess. I thought we had been robbed or she had fallen or there was broken glass, furniture knocked over. And she was. I called her name and she didn't move. I checked her pulse and she was still warm. Her blood was warm. And I saw the gun. It looked so heavy, but I thought it had to be fake because I didn't want it to be real. Is that why you picked it up? What? Pick it up? I didn't touch that thing. I didn't shoot her, damn it. Doing what I do, you hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, hasty lies. Bad lies, especially. For me, it's always been easy to spot a lie. But it can be hard to know what to do about it. I have all the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous and defensive. And none of this works if he doesn't trust me. Stay up to date on the details of all evidence by checking your phone. Isn't that kind of the whole problem as presented by this narrative? Everybody's checking their phone too much. And you're telling me to check my phone? If your clients notice that you don't know what you're talking about, they'll stop giving you any credit. Okay, it's kind of like LA Noire kind of had a system like that, I think. You did touch the gun, Carlos. That's just a fact. And we know because of your prints. They found the... Wait, hang on. Let me just verify that real quick. Evidence. Flats rental. Wait. Revolver. Yeah, it has his fingerprints on it. Of your prints. It's a fact that your fingerprints are on that gun. What? But I didn't do this. I wasn't thinking. I was just the revolver. Revolver Ocelot. Carlos, all I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all. Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun? That explains how his prints got on the gun. But not in a way that would satisfy the police. Still, if all he did was hold the gun. So stupid. I know what a gun looks like. But seeing it in my own home right in front of... You were in shock, Carlos. You still are. The police came in sometime after that. I don't remember much of what they said. Things started moving fast, it seemed like. The rest of my night went probably the way you'd expect. Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diane, but you said you were surprised to see the room trashed when you got back. You're saying that you two never had a physical fight. What? Physical? We never fought. We never fought like that. Did the police say that we did? They assumed as much. which means they also assumed the room was disheveled well before the shooting occurred. Considering what Carlos had told me, what else did they assume? What is it? I'd like you to take a look at something for me. The crime scene. Oh. It's an AR module built from data taken as the police entered, so... Right, it's just that... It's just data, Carlos. No grisly details. Okay. Let me see it. Take your time. Alright, I think I've got it. That's how the police found things. Now close your eyes and think back to how the room looked when you left. Try and focus on what's out of place. Alright. I'll take notes. You just say whatever comes to mind. I don't remember exactly where everything was. But, well, the mirror was upright, of course. And that clock was still on the wall. The chair got knocked over at some point, and the bed got tossed, the cushions torn, and the urn fell. Other than that... No, sorry, that's all that stands out to me. I see. Like so? What's wrong? Something out of place? Carlos, you need to trust your instinct. If anything seems off, don't be afraid to speak up. Beautiful. Graphic design is my passion. It's just, I guess I just assumed your notes would be making edits to the AR. Well, I suppose that works too. Sorry, I didn't mean... I think your drawing was pretty good, considering... I'd like to change the subject now, Carlos. Right. Let's talk about the letter that was found on your desk. Letter? What do you mean? I mean this letter here. Do you recognize it? Because the police are calling it a confession. A confession? But this is just a note to self. Pardon? Look, when we fight, I lose my temper, say things I don't mean to. So this morning I tried writing things down so I'd have a script to stick to. So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her. Carlos, you say in the note that you hurt them. That's... I broke her fidget tubbies. Her what? Her what? Her fidget tubbies. They're these collectible ceramic character things. Oh my god. They're supposed to be like tactile. You use them as paperweights or conversation starters. Conversation starters? She love those little things. Fidget tubbies. The 24K gold matcha labubu. They're not worth a damn. You can buy them at any flea market or garage sale, but they meant a lot to her. And I broke them. I mean, I was pissy at the time, but that goddamn piece of shit rental alarm, I hardly know where I'm swinging it half the time. Got so angry I just ripped it off and tossed it in my room. That cheap, dusty, worthless. Okay, let's say he did break her frigiduckies with his replacement arm. What does that change? Nothing at the moment. Okay, so here's what we know about Morgan so far. Doesn't look at phone. Doesn't play with toy. What does she do? There's not enough detail in the note for me to prove what his intent was when he sat down to write it. But if the police insist on claiming her job, okay, you can't only do your job though. You have to have work-life balance. I guess when you're a lawyer, you don't get that. I guess that's just the long and short of it. It never seemed like they stopped working in Better Call Saul anyway. It seemed like there was a lot of driving around. It seems like there was a lot of driving around and talking to men. That's what a lot of that show was. Couldn't even bother to sweep them up. I felt so. All right, Carlos, thanks for answering my questions. Now I'm gonna call police back in here and I'm gonna get this cleared up for you. What? That's it? That's it? Oh, okay. Although before I do that, I do have to ask. What do you know about the Heartbreak Killer? Heartbreak? You mean that psycho that was trending all month? I mean, as much as anyone, I guess? I haven't been getting out much, but I'm sure everyone's on edge, a guy like that out there. He shoots people through the heart, right? The police have kept the victim's appearances far away from any upstanding news sources. So unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblance to his girlfriend. I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that doesn't mean anything, does it? If he's this slow on the uptake, it's gonna be a real shock when those officers walk in here and accuse him of being a serial killer. I'll just have to squash that theory as quickly and definitively as possible. It has these little like freeze ups and I always wonder if the game's gonna crash. Okay, we're good. I didn't realize you could smoke in here. I thought he was called the Heartbreak Killer because he takes victim on dates first and then breaks up with them, then insult to injury kills them. What a It's not the flower, it's not the most flowery, I'll give you that. Flowers blooms in your heart. Technically, I can smoke wherever I want. For a fee. C2999. That's good. I guess so. Nervous? Don't be. I'm the one who's on the clock. Right, I'm sure this isn't your first time doing this. No, of course not. It will be my first homicide defense, though. Oh. That's from Deltarune Chapter 5. There's this one character that has a lot of like voiced lines, which is funny because other characters don't really have voiced lines in that game. It's my Girona! Here we go, San Francisco! What a predictable creature. Those are some of my favorites. It's my Girona! Why does everyone always think the first time's so goddamn important? Hey, cheer up. I've got relevant experience in other cases. Oh, and what areas are those? You're eating my flesh. Your dad is my best friend. Is it San Francisco? I had no idea. Wow, that's funny. You ever gamble, Carlos? No, ma'am. I never get anywhere near loot boxes. Won't touch the stuff. I meant more like playing cards. Oh, well then, no to that too. I've actually got pretty terrible luck. Could have fooled me. Well, what I do is a lot like poker, Carlos. Poker's nice because even if you're dealt nothing but crap all night long, you can still win. Which makes things pretty fun. Okay, so, do you have a good poker face? I like to think so. And are you lucky? Only when the stakes are high. And in this metaphor, we're playing poker? And the state's the dealer? If only. No, the state's more like the house. You mean the house always wins? Gamble, please gamble. It's an investment, and an investment only. You will profit, you will win. 99% of gamblers stop before they get their big break. It's an investment. I don't actually think anything I just said, just as a disclaimer, but it's very funny. Send it. Let it ride. Let's go. They're very good at it. Winning, I mean. That's why they're up there and we're down here. That's why they're the house. So what do? We play the cards we're dealt as best we can. Win more hands than we lose. Keep it up, and eventually, someone will come over and tap the dealer on the shoulder and whisper something in their ear. And then we'll be politely asked to leave. That doesn't sound very triumphant. The house always wins. So our definition of victory is more like, don't lose. Thanks, Morgan. But I guess I was more asking like, what should I say? Just leave all the talking to me. So that's the strategy. Yeah, honestly, don't talk. Shut the hell up. If you're accused of something, just shut up. Especially if you didn't do it, but especially if you did do it. What's up? You know there's a saying about gamblers with strategies. Yo, ready to confess yet? What? You can't just walk in here when I'm with my client? Are you serious? Because I already woke up the DA. Already? She must be new. The district attorneys have a final say on whether or not a case is brought to trial. Only fair, so since they're the ones who end up having to actually prove the damn thing. Most of them prefer simple guilty pleas over long, protracted trials, and they all dislike having their time wasted. Unfortunately, then, you'll have to call them back, because my client is not guilty. And frankly, I'm not even sure you have enough to hold him here. Right. What she said. Don't talk. Just shh. I mean, that's pretty standard, I would think. Just don't. Just do not. Just don't. You've got a weird sense of humor, counselor. Different generations, I guess. Before my time kind of thing. I'm very serious when it comes to defending a man's innocence, detective. Counselor, we have your client's written confession. His written confession. Let's start there. Okay, well, we'll be happy to. The thrust of every argument starts with the facts, what's already known and agreed upon. Public knowledge for every player at the table. It's pretty simple, counselor. Real paint-by-number stuff. See, we found a note at his apartment with his fingerprints on it, apologizing for how he hurt them all so bad. Now, how are you planning on spinning that? Those are the facts, but I've been building up my hand all night, and now I've got the weapons to answer anything they try to throw at me. Yes, new mechanics! Well, my client did write that note, and it was an apology, but not for murder. He was apologizing for... Analyze the facts as they're laid out, then review the responses in your hands. Select the card that best answers the argument and place it in the slot on the right. You can mouse over your opponent's portrait for a reminder of what the key point you're answering. Okay. He wrote a confession. Debris. Ceramic crab. I guess it's that, right? Ceramic crab near western window. It's that. He was simply apologizing for this. The hell is that? I found myself asking that exact same question. What are we looking at here? Something from the crime scene? This diagram of the room is created from data you captured, right? Pure non-GMO augmented reality crime scene data, yeah. What's non-GMO? Not much these days. Notice anything out of place? It's very stylish, yes. It's very the visuals is very good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's got a lot of style. That's what you need is style. Yeah, the whole room's full of busted shit. It's the scene of a murder. Full of busted shit for sure. But I was more referring to the unidentified ceramic debris found on the western side of the room. The hell is that? Ceramic debris, huh? How is a virtual hologram GMO or not anyway? Oh, I mean, the way this game has been going, there was probably some long, big debate about that, and now it's outlawed. I don't know. Something like that. Must be from the vase that got tossed. Actually, that's not possible. Oh? Because that vase... Wait. Gotta confirm... Wait, we don't have what he said about it. Last statement. All right. The mirror was upright. The clock was on the wall. The chair got knocked over. The bed got tossed. The cushions torn. Okay, so he doesn't remember that the vase got knocked over. Just the chair. Okay. Wasn't damaged. It's not possible for that debris to have come from the vase because that vase is still pristine. How is that possible? Uh-oh. Okay. The lady at the garage sale told me it was so old and delicate. Damn it, the one time I try and thrift shop on my own. Well, so what? What does it even matter? If the vase doesn't have a scratch on it, then the debris must have come from somewhere else. That debris is what my client wrote that apology over. You're saying that confession was his apology for not vacuuming? I am, because that pile of rubble is all that remains of the victim's collection of fidget tubbies. What he said. Mr. Flat broke the victim's ceramic figures by accident. And this impassioned note to self was just his attempt at scripting out an apology. Can you prove that? We're taking this seriously? As much as I wish we weren't. We're all in agreement that my client wrote that note, and we can all plainly see that there's ceramic debris at the crime scene. Now, since it couldn't have come from the vase, it must have come from the collectibles. Simple, right? The hell are you on about? The entire room was trashed, as the arcs clearly shows. Those fidget tubbies must have gotten pulverized during the struggle too. You're really gonna claim he sat down to write an apology for breaking her toys after gunning her down? Not a bad train of thought, but I can do better. Those things. Fidget Bob SquarePants. Those collectibles were destroyed as much earlier than that, and there's proof. Let me just... Those collectibles destroyed much earlier than that. Oh, right, okay. Arm. It's a little hard to select these. Yeah, I think this is it. Just take a closer look at the rental you took into custody. Huh? One swipe of your finger should show exactly how devastating it was to the Fickle Buddy ecosystem. Fickle Buddy. It's fidget tubbies. Whatever. You did take it into custody. I'm sure your text found ceramic debris on it, yes? Now that you mention it. Fine, whatever. He broke them with his arm while he was killing her. Happy? Overjoyed because even a cheap arm's got an operating system that logged the last time it was worn, right? Right. See, I happened to spot a footnote on the lab report. Said that the rental hadn't been used since the AM. Whose side are you on, old man? It's gotten pretty late, Sunshine. Just trying to save us all some time where I can. Well, thank you for your service. Well, thank you for your service. Are you seriously buying this crap? Just look at how scrawled, how panicked that note is. You expect me to believe he was that upset over a fidget tubby collection? One that hasn't even been graded? Oh, she knows ball. She knows ball. Setting aside Detective Reyes' surprising depth of knowledge when it comes to collectibles, you're correct. They held no real monetary value. It would be odd for Carlos to be so shaken over their loss. But so what? I know she has an immaculate cabinet full of the little critters. So what? After all, that's not panic you're seeing on that page. No, the only reason that note looks the way it does is because Carlos... Oh, he's right-handed, but he doesn't have his right hand. Because Carlos is right-handed. Yes, I am. Stop talking, Carlos! Stop talking, Carlos! Stop talking, Carlos. Did they not know that? Shouldn't that be on my permanent record or something? So the reason why that note looks like asylum while scribbles is just because he had to use his left hand to write it. I tend to think better writing than typing. And I need to get used to using my left anyway. I just thought it could be good practice. Taking that into account alongside the ceramics, your slam dunk confession is looking about as watertight as a fishnet. Okay, fine. Forget about the confession. Congratulations, counselor. You've established that your client's remorseless. Bro, come on. Now let's get back to the reality of the situation. Here are the facts. We found your client at the scene of the crime, wearing a coat covered in the victim's blood, right next to a big old goddamn gun that just so happened to have his fingerprints on it. That's right, that coat is What, you're gonna claim it's not his? That he actually wears an extra small? She's trying to bait me in her typical low-key fashion. Yeah, he destroyed the fidget tubbies. He must have done it. Lock him up. As the arguments flow, you won't always have the stronger hand. Sometimes the best you can do is hold your tongue and avoid overcommitting. Try to lose as little credit as possible while you wait for a more favorable chance. She must have something, no sense playing into it. Something you'd like to ask me, detective? I'm just curious, what'll it be next? You gonna tell me he actually wears an extra small? Can I look at the code again? This probably isn't necessary for every single one, but evidence. Where flat coat. It doesn't say anything about size. Okay. Raise? Okay, are they letting me do it? Oh, maybe I can only do stay. He doesn't wear an XXS. Gee, Carlos, do you? No. Yeah? Sure there's no evil twin you've forgotten to mention? No, I'm afraid not. Nice. Not even gonna go for a mysterious third party at the scene of the crime? To prove his innocence, I will need to get there eventually. But going there now without hard evidence. Oh. I can prove a third party. I can't prove a third party. I have no evidence of a third person at this time. Damn right you don't. It's clear as day in the arcs. No evidence of anyone but Carlos being there that night, so keep dreaming. It was obvious she had something there. I wasn't gonna win that hand either way. But at least I didn't overstep and take any more damage than I had to. We're not contesting any of that, detective. Okay, that's interesting that there's like unwinnable scenarios in these argument thingies. That's cool. I enjoy that. My client freely admits to holding that gun. He picked it up in confusion after coming home to find a brutal crime scene. Which was not smart. Hey. But not illegal either. And that's all. He had her blood all over his clothes. Yes, he did. Right. Do you have those clothes on hand, by the way? The lab finished with them a while ago. What are you getting at? It'll be easier just to show you. Would you mind getting them for me? You know what? Sure, I could use the fresh air. Stinks of bullshit in here anyway. In here I thought the room smelled like... Psst, Morgan. What are you doing? My coat's covered in her blood. I remember that much. So doesn't that, like, make me look really bad? Just relax, Carlos. I'm pretty sure that's impossible. You're innocent, and that means that having more evidence will always help you, not hurt you. Really? Really? Not really. Plenty of innocent people in prison. People with bad luck. Or bad lawyers. People shouldn't count on the truth to come out easy. More often than not, it takes coaxing. Thank you, Green Morgan. Thank you for the insight. Rare Green Morgan. What was it that reminded me of? All right, here it is. One bloodstained jacket, fresh from the lab. So what's your angle? You gonna tell us that this is actually just hot sauce? No. That would be silly. She actually thought it over. So what the hell is your point? Hey. Sorry, just got thrown off by the turn of good fortune. What good fortune? You should thank the detective for bringing you your jacket, Carlos. She's just proving your innocence. Your credits is your HP, but if you make bad claims, you lose credibility. Yeah. My client was arrested wearing this coat. He would have been wearing it at the time of the murder. It has the victim's blood on it, who we know died when she was shot in the heart. By a gun that happens to be an old world pre-tagging firearm. And so this coat proves he couldn't have been the shooter. Is there a gas leak in here? In what world does that make any sense? Sense happens to be key here. I just need to draw their attention to what they can. what you can smell on the coat with your nose, what you can feel on the coat with your hands, what you can see on the coat with your eyes. What sense you use doesn't matter. Flats coat. Okay. I guess see? I don't know. Just tell me what you see. I see a coat with a lot of dead woman blood on it. And you? Uh-oh. Did I lose? I lost. Okay. That's not gonna work. The truth is plainly there, but this isn't the kind of detail you can see with your naked eye. Feel? I'm feeling feel. Just tell me what you feel. I feel like I'm losing brain cells. Were you hoping I just... Aw. I should have went with smell. I thought that was... I was thinking that was gonna be right. Sniff it. Just do me one favor, detective. Tell me what you smell. I don't smell anything except dry blood. Exactly. The coat smells like blood, but it doesn't smell of... cigarettes. That's what I've been smelling. Yes, Detective London, I was smoking earlier. Could you rejoin the conversation? I've been listening. You wanted me to smell the jacket? If you would. Let's see. Huh. No gunpowder. What? What about gunpowder? Oh, don't blame yourself for not noticing. This was before your time. You can't be more than a few years older than me. But not before your partners, it seems. See, gunpowder is weak by today's standards, but it's still volatile stuff. Hard to store, prone to misfiring, and when it goes bang, it leaves behind an awful lot of evidence. The hell is she talking about, London? Modern firearms like the one we carry use electricity, magnetism, even air pressure or sound waves. They've got more accuracy, more firepower, less recoil, less noise, and they don't leave behind any residue. Gunpowder residue. You talked my ear off about how difficult it is tracking down a gun that doesn't leave digital traces. But a revolver like this one, it'd leave gunpowder on the skin of whoever fired it for days. So then his coat. If you don't trust your noses, you can check the lab reports. I think if they had found any gunpowder on my client or his clothes, they'd have taken the time to highlight it. Aha! Well, whatever. That just means he washed off after shooting her, or he changed his clothes. That's not impossible, but it would be pretty pointless. Huh? His jacket and his left hand were blood-soaked when you officers found him. Would he really go through all the effort to get rid of something as subtle as gunpowder residue, just to get the victim's blood all over himself afterwards? Boink. In light of these details, I'd like to formally request that you reconsider the charges Mr. Flat is facing. As soon as possible. Whoa. They're faltering now. Should topple over at any moment. The letter was mostly icing on the cake for them. Yeah, there was literally blood on the coat. He changed his clothes and then got blood on his new clothes. Okay, dude. You're in the homicide division. Isn't this supposed to be your job? The letter was mostly icing on the cake for them, but that gun is all they had to link Carlos to any of the shootings. So if it looks like he never actually fired the gun, I'll admit things were a little dicey there at times. But once I was able to grasp the situation, the smaller pieces fell into place easily enough. Not my cleanest work by far, but overall I'd say... Did she get a message? Huh. Wait, did they actually manage to find it? Something you'd like to share, Detective Reyes? You're good. Twisting the truth into knots, making the facts work for you. Thanks? But your luck just ran out. Because the net scrubbers have found a cam active at the exact moment of the shooting. Isn't that convenient? And right now, I'm staring at a photo of the killer. Wanna bet? What? What? What are you talking about? A photo of the shooter. If she had that, we wouldn't still be talking. But it does, she's just pulling this out of her ass. She's got something from the scrubbers. She must be bluffing. She must have something. Oh my god, okay, she definitely... Would she lie about this? Certainly not, right? No, she shouldn't, of course. That's a bold bluffer this late in the game, detective. Especially when we both know that there was an optics blackout during the shooting. Well, that's just it. This isn't from optics. No! No! I should have figured she wouldn't make a claim that bold without something to back it up. Party's over, counselor. Feast your eyes on this. Oh my god, wait. It was circular head, man. Well, okay, the quality is lacking. And yet there it is. They managed to find a quarter needle of evidence in a whole city block of haystacks. Dang, the gingerbread man from Shrek sure fell in hard times. What are the goddamn chances? No, with the scale their tools operate on, I guess the chances are, as always, in their favor. Alright, this isn't good. It was, oh my god, it was Gray Man, you're right. His reign of terror still goes on to this day. Even, like, what, 80 years later? Guy standing. You could even say I got lucky, which means the stakes are, well, it's a little bit blurry. The baby is screaming, I'm sorry. The cat, I mean. Did you hear that? That must have picked up. No, that didn't. Dang, it doesn't pick up at all. What if I was gonna try to pick her up. It didn't work. I'm sorry. Cat moment. Now she's mad at me. Don't look at me. I didn't take the damn thing. Technically, no one took it. Looks like at the time of the shooting, a neighbor was on their phone, probably venting about how crazy the couple across the way was acting. But if their phone was on, its camera would be on. And so we managed to get this shot through the window. Where to begin? Far away, unfocused, ultra low resolution, zoomed in, blurred, color shifted, and so compressed it looks like it's from another century. There are tools that could enhance this image any further, and I could count the pixels on one hand, and you could kiss its admissibility in court goodbye. You can't honestly claim that you can identify my client from this image, and there's no way in hell you could get this past a judge. So she was bluffing, technically. Yeah, you're probably right, we couldn't, but I think I know a DA that could. Either way, it doesn't seem like your client's leaving the police station anytime soon. That photo, what the hell is happening to me? Think I know a DA that could? Don't be so modest, old man. We have photo evidence of a left-handed shooter standing in the hallway at the same time the whole neighborhood heard a gunshot. And who do we know that had their left-hand fingerprints all over that gun? You're referring to my client. Let's see this. Pull it up. Oh, it's the same one. Okay. Okay, well, being left-handed isn't that uncommon. You think? We've established he wasn't wearing his modded arm at all tonight, so he must have shot with his left. Yes, and we've also established that he's weak with his left side. A left side that had no gunpowder whatsoever. Forensics will never be perfect, counselor. Sometimes we miss things. Sometimes you take a walk through the rain, and when you finally get where you're going, you somehow end up dry. But that doesn't mean it didn't rain. All of which is to say, before a judge or jury, photographic evidence outweighs a failed sniff test. Carlos is innocent. I know he is. But that photo shows a left-handed shooter. Carlos is innocent. That photo is real. If both are true, then that means that the photo doesn't show what it appears to show. So, at a loss for words? Never. I'm just confused about one thing. Where was this photo taken from, exactly? Exactly. Positional data is usually only accurate to the nearest public router. If we DN on the phone's owner and ask them where, why bother with any of that? Ballistics and common sense tells us that the perp shot from the room's doorway. The front entrance of the apartment faces to the south. There's a hallway that runs back to the bedroom. We're looking straight at the shooter, so it's pretty obvious that this was taken from across the north window. From the north? If this is from the north, then why can we clearly see the... It's not that complicated. The neighbor who got shot must live on the other side of the street. So we're looking into the bedroom from the north window. If she's wrong, I should seize that on the opportunity to start turning the tide. She's wrong, the photo was taken from the west. She's right, the photo was taken from the north. Wait, hang on. Okay, so... Let's take a look at that. And then we'll look at the photo. Is it here? Photo. Where's the photo? Photograph. Okay. Let me see. So this... Okay, so the clock might be our dead ringer here. If we can find a clock on the... Is there a clock somewhere? It doesn't look like it. But it is a doorway, so maybe it is from the north. The northern... The photo was taken from the north. And it does look like it has like, you know, like blinds. It's being taken through blinds, it seems like. I guess it was taken from the north. Right, from the north. No, because that would mean something the matter, counselor. Sorry, just thinking things through. Right. So law school was mostly take-home tests. Why was that not right? I don't have enough info. This photo can't have been taken from the north. What are you talking about? The good detectives are misinformed here, and I need to take advantage of it. Time to press the initiative. The hell do you mean this was taken from the west? The autopsy tells us the victim was shot from the doorway. Your officer's ARCS data tells us the precise location of everything in the room at the time they arrived. And now your photo has shown us the exact moment of the shooting. And you can now raise the ante on a hand up to the current max. Answer wrong and you'll lose more credit, but answer correctly and you can bank up more credit for the trickier hands down the line. Oh my god, that's so much stress. And altogether, that tells us that this photo must have been taken through the west window. As long as you consider... Oh, clock was on the wall. Clock was on the wall. Wait. Clock was on... Wait, hang on. Clock was on the wall. And it was near the mirror. That's the overturned mirror. Clock would have been here. Clock would have to be here, right? I don't see a clock anywhere. Okay, gamble. Max. Oh god. Mirror was upright. I think it's this. Just take one look at the clock on that photo. The clock? What about it? Did I win? The clock, huh? Seems like London's got an idea. If he's mistaken, I could pounce on it to keep my tempo high. Oh my god, I'm so smart. This photo was taken right before the shooting, so... Wait, don't tell me the time of death is wrong. He's right, the time of death could be wrong. He's wrong, the time of death is correct. Time of death 9 p.m. Cause of death ballistic trauma class 4. That's the autopsy report. Oh my god. Are we gonna have an autopsy report was updated moment? Okay, we don't have any information on here. The clock and the autopsy both say 9. Oh, does it? Wait, hang on. Okay, yeah, it does. So this whole time thing is like a red herring, basically. Yeah, no, the time is correct. That's a good question, Detective London, but the answer is no. The autopsy, the clock, and the neighbors all agree the time of death was 9 p.m. Right, no mistaking that. So then what the hell were you on about? There's a clock on the wall in this photo, analog style, and it reads 9 o'clock. 9 p.m., the time of the shooting. The hell's so special about that? Nothing. There's nothing odd about the time the clock reads, but do you remember there being a clock in the room? What? Actually, I don't recall there being a clock. Yes, I called it. I frickin' called it. That makes sense. You wouldn't recall seeing a clock, because when the police secured the scene, the clock had already been knocked onto the floor. And the only clock in that room is in the northeastern corner. And my client has informed me that before the crime, he was hung up on the eastern wall. Like so. What the hell is that supposed to be? An artistic rendition. It's, very distinct. If you had information on how the crime scene was before the shooting, why didn't you just add that to the arcs? And show you my hand? Just because discovery law compels us to share info doesn't mean we have to play fair, detective. Slipped my mind. I'll do that now. The important thing is, if that clock was on the eastern wall before the shooting occurred, then this photo must be looking through the western window to see it. Don't start getting ahead of yourself. The victim was shot at 9 p.m., the same time that this photo was taken of the shooter. But you want to claim that the clock's still on the eastern wall when it would have been knocked down during the fighting? You've got your logic backwards, detective. Your precious photo shows that the room was pristine at the time of the shooting. And there's only one other piece of evidence that proves exactly how the cards fell. Okay, well, obviously we're gonna up the ante first, just to be clear. The glass. We know about the mirror. Was the mirror mentioned already? It's gotta be glass. Glass shards, what about them? Nothing much really. Only that they're on top of the victim's body. I got 4 credits for that. And not under it. If the glass fell on top of the victim's body, that would mean that she was dead on the ground before the room got trashed. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone trash the room afterwards? It's a good question, Carlos. Luckily, it's the detectives who have to delve into the minds of the criminally insane, not us. Tell me, detectives, were there any signs of a struggle at the other crime scenes? Other crime scenes? No, nothing like that. Those attacks would have been over in a matter of seconds. So what did you think when you saw the mess in the bedroom? That this was personal and things had gotten complicated? Shit happens? Shit does happen, detective. But in this case, it seems there's been a general misconception about the order in which shit happened. So what if the room didn't get tossed over until afterwards? He still shot her. And we have a photo right here. And I'm glad you do, detective, because that photo proves my client's innocence. Huh? Proving that it wasn't my client who pulled the trigger is difficult, and maybe more importantly for us, time-consuming. Thanks to your photo, I can instead prove that it couldn't have been my client who pulled the trigger, because the man in that photo can't possibly be Carlos. Like hell it can't. The glass shards prove that the room was pristine at the time of the shooting. And we know that until the room was tossed, that clock was on the eastern wall. Which means that this photo of the shooter was taken from the west. Back to this shit, that's impossible. The only hallway in that apartment runs from north to south. The only person with prints on that gun is your client. And the only fact that matters is that he used it to murder 6 innocent people. You're a very honest person, detective. Excuse me? That's why you're such a shitty gambler. You've played your cards too early, and now I can steal the pot right out from under you. You're right about the hallway's orientation. You're right about the prints. And this HK figure has claimed 6 lives. But we aren't looking at the hallway in that photo. What? What we're seeing is... What we're looking at is... Oh, the mirror? Bro, is it the mirror reflecting? Oh, this sector's kind of weird. Oh my god, is it? Oh my god, hang on, okay. We're turning on up to max. The mirror! What is that? You trying the glass shards again? Sort of. By the way, do you recall where those glass shards came from? Yeah, sure, they came from a standing mirror. A mirror that, at the time of the shooting, stood across the room from the western window. But then, that would mean, at that angle, from that viewpoint, it would reflect the hallway. So we're not seeing a shooter with a gun in their left hand. We're seeing a killer take aim with their right arm. Boom. And as we all know, my client hasn't had a working right arm in a number of weeks. And he hasn't worn his rental since this morning. So I meant what I said about that photo. I'm glad that it was recovered, because it just proved that my client couldn't possibly have committed this crime. That should be the end of it. Except, it looks like Detective Reyes really is a novice gambler. Sunk cost has got his teeth in her now, clawing up her spine, whispering wounded pride in her ear. It's a cold sweat, hot palms kind of fever. The impotent, irrational fury of losing something you thought was guaranteed yours. But lucky for you, detective, I'm well versed in shock therapy. The clock read 3 o'clock? Wait, you're right. You look dissatisfied, Detective Reyes. That's one word for it. Then allow me to put a nice bow on everything for you. In summary... Whoa, my client's so-called confession was just a note to self. The police found him in shock, reeling at the death of his girlfriend, and arrested him for being next to a gun he forensically couldn't have fired. After being oh my god, there's so many Morgans. Only the bright part was the mirror. Morgan just flipped the photo. What? After being confronted with these facts, you received the photographic evidence of the exact moment of the shooting. And instead of utilizing said photo to track down the real killer, you tried to claim it depicted my client, a man without the requisite limb, standing in an architecturally impossible hallway. He could have had a backup arm. You could have stolen one. A little stubbornness can be charming, but this kind of desperation is ugly. It's getting late. Time to bare my fangs. A bit. Boom, 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 boom. It's Morgan time. That's the best you've got? Even a bare bones prosthetic off the black market needs to be attuned to an individual's nervous system. He'd have to bring it into a clinic, which would have left a record on his shoulder OS. A record you won't find. And he'd still have to somehow have gotten rid of it before the police arrived. SOP at the scene of a violent crime calls for full spectrum scanning of the entire building and 100 meters around it, minimum. So where, Detective Reyes, did he manage to hide a cybernetic arm from your drones in the time between the shooting and his arrest? Ah! Well. Oh, we get a CG? Okay. Any objections? Detective... God. Damn it! Fold. Get absolutely folded upon. Boom. Show me your hand, Flat. You're uncoughing me? In light of the evidence, we have no reason to hold you. Now I gotta call the DA and tell her I made a mistake. Not we made a mistake, huh? God damn it. Yeah, I love it. Listen, kid, you should know. Detective? Oh, lost my train of thought. But hey, your attorney's a real tiger and she fought like hell for you. Make sure you thank her properly. Public defense doesn't pay that well. Yeah, that's kind of you to say, Detective, but my work is its own reward. Sure. I feel exactly the same, Counselor. What happens now? I'll have to speak with the DA about the dismissal. And there's still some paperwork we'll need to go through. But basically, you're free to go. Congrats, you get to leave the casino with your kneecaps intact. Yay? But what am I supposed to do? The detectives will continue their investigation. Their investigation into heartbreak, huh? Yes. When the authorities are satisfied with their examination of the body, she'll be handed over to the next of kin. And then you can make funeral arrangements. No, that's not what Diane being gone is bad enough. But a serial killer? It's like she died of the flu. It doesn't happen anymore. People die of the flu all the time, but I know what you mean. I can't make sense of it. So what am I supposed to do? Hell if I know. There are some contacts I could give you. Services, professionals, doctors. No, you've done more than enough for me. When you got here, I was too tired to even defend myself. To try and convince them that I didn't. You saved me. Thank you. You're welcome, Carlos, but it's my job to... No, I mean, thank you for not asking. For not asking if I killed her. Oh, Carlos. I didn't need to ask. I knew you were innocent from the start. Of course he was. After all. After all what? No fucking way! No fucking way! Did you know about this?
I knew about this.
You knew about this? Okay. What's this? What? Huh? What? Oh, that's oh, it's like a oh. Okay. Yeah, it's like a chamber. The blood's always different. Heart's always in the same place, easy to find, hard to miss. But the blood's always different. A flowering stain unfurling towards an invisible sun. A perfectly unique bloom. Only one for each of us. It's been there the whole time! A Rorschach test with singular universal meaning. Vitality at its climax. Bursting forth into a red fractal consisting solely of an infinite the end. Flowers bloom in your heart! But the comical thud of a body hitting the floor has its own kind of lowbrow appeal. What? Bullet number 6 of 6. The gum's empty. It's useless to me now. May as well leave it. Feels like a waste, but whatever. Heartbreak. Heartbreak. No. 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 I was denying it. I was in denial, but it's true. Favorite diff? I love Mapo tofu. "10 feet tall, it's the flower man." Wait. Occupation, criminal, defense attorney. That's awesome. That freaking rules, dude. That's so cool. Cinema. Finding the ammo was almost enough of a hassle to outweigh the advantages. I can sell an untagged gun for a fair bit of cash, but cash can't buy you peace of mind. Oh, don't look so surprised, lady. What? Moping around in the dark in here, must have only been able to see my silhouette. Did she think I was her boyfriend, back for an encore of that enthralling conversation? Can't ask her now. Hey, yeah, you hear that? These old pieces are so goddamn loud. And people aren't even familiar enough with the sound anymore to know to run the other way. Probably roused half the neighborhood. But I didn't see anything I could use as even a partial suppressor on the way in. Could they really not afford some throw pillows? I used the other 5 bullets in outdoor spaces, in small spheres of blind opportunity that the city's eyes couldn't think to pierce. Cramped places usually full of trash. But this room, as cheap as it looks, is at least clean, organized even. So the corpse adds a certain satisfying contrast. Except, there's shit on the floor. By the window, there are broken pieces of something fragile and tacky. It's fine. It's just one thing out of place. Actually, it's not fine. It's actually really irritating. I kick over the stupid goddamn mirror. 5 perfect crime scenes. Each of them not a speck of evidence, nothing to go on. And for the final shot, there just has to be some pile of shit in the corner ruining everything. I kick the wall. Something falls from it. Probably more tasteless bullshit. I toss over the chair, knock the urn, tear into the sheets with my frustration, and try to savor the shredding. It's fine. If it can't be clean, I'll just have to lean into the messy angle. At least it will be consistent. This was all so stupid. Honestly, I'm not the ego-driven type. In fact, I pride myself on my humility. Now, was it satisfying when the first 3 went down with single shots? Guys, it's okay, I'm insane. Yes, but so what? I'm not made of stone. After that, I did start to actively aim for the heart, but... heartbreak killer? Really? Don't people have anything better to do with their time? What kind of miserable, lifeless voyeurs would obsess over something that's none of their business? That's so funny. All of the threads and breakdowns in the goddamn theory crafting. And all for the heartbreak killer. Sounds like a soap opera villain from a season where the writers were on strike. I'd feel insulted by the label, but no, that's someone else's name. They came up with it. They spread it. They marketed it. Heartbreak's got nothing to do with me. He's just some reclusive, lonely, socially impotent loser who shot 6 people because... well, I'm sure people will come up with something. That he got rejected one too many times or whatever. Me? I killed those people because I saw them and I wanted to. And I've killed a lot more than just 6. At least the room is thoroughly trashed now. If I had just walked away after seeing that mess by the window, it would have irritated me to no end. And now that it doesn't match the MO of the last 5 perfectly, it'll irritate the cops to no end instead. Oh my god! Oh my god! Good riddance, Heartbreak. You enjoy your 15 minutes in the spotlight. Really savor it. I'm going home. The air's weighty tonight, thick, energized. A heavily foreshadowed summer rain I can feel on every hair. They call this kind of humidity oppressive, but I disagree. The warm tension on your skin, like in those short moments just after the shower turns off when the steam lingers. Yeah, it's always most comfortable right afterwards. Maybe there's no disagreement to be had. Oppressive things can be comforting too. Only the guilty ones run. I don't know about that. But I know I've never felt guilty about any of this. And I walk. Sorry, using my left is still... That's okay, you can just initial in those spots. CG again, okay. Oh god, this is so much scarier knowing this. Oh my god, everything has changed. Well, Morgan is at very least a heartbreak killer, and she just said, she's responsible for other murders too. She's like a hardened serial killer, it seems. But so far she hasn't been caught. And she also represented the lawyer in this case, although I don't know if future cases are going to be the same thing. I imagine she intends to keep on killing, considering she killed someone earlier this morning. So, you know, it'll probably come up again. And then, yeah, the Furbies. I took a scenic route home, courtesy of our fine city's sprawling public transportation, and got in a bit after 11 p.m. Had myself a thorough shower, drank a glass of milk. Okay, that's serial killer behavior. Did some stretching. I'm sorry, you told me you used...
Do what?
You used to drink milk, right? Like, do you still do that?
That's my brother.
Oh, that's your brother. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to your brother. Nothing wrong with a glass of milk. I'm just rage baiting. I'm so sorry. That's embarrassing. Milk is okay. I like chocolate milk. I could go with for a nice cold glass of chocolate milk any day. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Made sure my phone was on. Time went by evenly. Around 1:40 a.m., a posting for public defender work came up. Decent rate since it was so late and so urgent. I had wagered correctly that the boyfriend would have enough sense to ask for a lawyer and enough debt that he need to be provided one. Chalky milk, because you're epic. All I had to do was stay awake. There wasn't much competition after 1 in the morning. Okay, where else? Here and here. How did I phrase it earlier? Criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. Why wouldn't I take on a job where I already knew more than the cops? It would have been easy to convince Carlos to plead out. I would have gotten paid the same too. But easy is dangerous. Carlos was, of course, innocent, so his conviction would never be airtight. There would be doubts, questions, appeals, maybe even fans depending on his looks. Oh my god. More attention on HK and his crimes, more headaches. A cold case rotting in the very far back of the public's awareness is always preferable to the one open and shut in haste. With the twist revealed at the end of the free prologue, I'm honestly surprised I haven't been spoiled on it since I have a lot of friends. Yeah, no, I know many people who are into this too, and they've been very good about it. So I guess that really speaks to the quality of the writing, that they want to keep people in the dark. No, you know what? It's fine. This is a safe space. A cold case rotting. Okay, yeah, we got that. No, with no more murders matching HK's MO, there wouldn't be any additional public pressure to find a culprit. Now Heartbreak can just starve to death, out of sight and mind like any other fluke in the system. Fucking wife. Oh my god. Almost done. Getting involved with the case this intimately does have its risks. Hell, I might have even overdone things here or there. Like lighting up a smoke inside of an interrogation room. Yeah, that was pretty silly. Just to make doubly sure I didn't still smell of gunpowder myself. That London fellow seemed more fixated on it than I would have liked. I mean, God forbid a woman have hobbies, right? This is the work-life balance I was talking about, right? She has to have hobbies outside of her lawyering work. You know? You know? You know? That was for a reason. She's a genius. but obviously everything turned out rosy. Okay, I revised my statement. She's no longer girl Edgeworth. She's just girl Walter White. That's the most rage-baity thing I could have said, but it's true. What are her hobbies outside work? Homicide. Seeing the authorities' failings from the best seat in the house, that's just a bonus. Thanks again, Morgan, for everything. I'm sure Diane is grateful too. Funny. I didn't even know her name. Christoph Gavin. Yeah, oh my god, yes. Something the matter? No, sorry, it's just... I was mad when I left the apartment. I know she was too. So when she died... Death was instantaneous, Carlos. I can't imagine that she was in any pain. In fact, I can guarantee she was dead before she hit the ground. No, I know, but I just keep thinking that she must have died angry at me. That she must have died hating me. Say nothing, present evidence? What are you doing, Morgan? You're gonna get in trouble. To tell you the truth, Carlos, there's something I've been wondering about myself. What is it? Something I noticed in the ARC's data that I didn't quite understand. A piece of the puzzle I couldn't fit in anywhere else. But maybe you can make sense. Oh, we're doing this to him now? Maybe you can make sense of it. The pills. Meds for a mod or non-lethal doses present. Oh, wait, yes. What is the... Where did you find that? That pill organizer was found on the victim. She had it grasped in her hand when she died. Obviously, the police added it to the ARCs, but it was quickly ruled irrelevant. Seems like it contained triprexazone, prescribed to help modders with phantom itches. They're small tablets, and those are tricky clasps too for a pill organizer. Could be hard to handle with an unsteady hand. No one will ever know what she was feeling when she died. Even if they did, feelings are complicated. You can feel angry, happy, and sad all at the same time. But as far as facts are concerned, it would appear that when she died, what she was doing was setting out your medications for the week. Oh my god. To my eyes, anyway. And he's grateful to you. Oh my god. Long night. Yeah, long night of murders. And getting away with them. That was too far just now. Yeah, it was. Practically rubbing it in his face. Yeah, you were. It's not like I care about his feelings. I doubt I'll ever even see him again. But overstepping like that is pure hubris. And hubris invites a downfall. So why did I even bother? It was the last piece of the puzzle, I suppose. I guess I'll just need to show more restraint next time. Though there won't be a next time for Heartbreak. The gun's in custody. There's no more bullets left. There won't be a 7th victim. There won't... Okay, there might be. Depending on what you decide to do tomorrow. There won't be any more leads to pursue. The media will move on to their next succession. I'll move on to my next MO. And no one will ever... Found you! What? District Attorney Rockford. Oh, hi. Sorry, can I try that? Why are you doing that face? I'm so fried. What? Hello? By all means. Ugh. Counselor Morgan. Morning, noon, or night. You're always so put together. I don't get it. How do you sleep at night? Pardon? You do white noise? Aromatherapy? Whatever you're doing, I need to steal it. God. I must have bags under my eyes dark enough for the dumpsters. Assistant District Attorney Emma Rockford. She's a prosecutor. The lawyer who argues for the state in court, trying to prove a defendant's guilt. Okay, I know the natural tension between prosecutors and attorneys. It is what it is. Sometimes they kiss. What? Who said that? And despite her sometimes unkempt appearance, She's probably the sharpest person to fill the position in decades. I should know, since I haven't beaten her once. Worse yet, she has the remarkable ability to compartmentalize all that adversarial energy and only bring it out in the courtroom. It's part of what makes her good at her job. And hard for me to read. Should I buy a new mattress? Whatever they got you doing at this ungodly hour, Emma. Oh, well, actually, I'm here for you. Me? Your client was a suspect in the Heartbreak killings. That's my case. Oh, her glasses went shiny. She's no joke. She's no joke. Well, then you must have been relieved finding out that you won't have to go to trial against me. No? Why would I be worried about going up against you? It's always the unintended barbs with her. So you're working with those detectives? Yeah, London and the new girl. They've been reporting to me in preparation for trial. Preparation for trial? That seems ambitious. I guess they gave you the rundown. They've been doing everything they can, but it's hard to catch a killer who leaves behind so little. It's hard to kill while leaving so little behind. So, Reyes told you they had HK in custody and you popped out of bed all excited to run down here? Haha, hardly. I haven't slept in 40 hours. Too much on my mind. So when I heard about a case with a single female victim shot through the heart, yeah, my ears perked up. But that's about all. Oh? I mean, Carlos Flat, a serial killer? The same serial killer that outsmarted the state for weeks? She's not using his middle name. He was found with the murder weapon, but I can answer that any number of ways. Oh. It could have been Flat. Stiff and unyieldy fingers can't bend. Taking a 9 p.m. shows right-hand shooter a lucky shot. I'd say it's the photo, honestly. But wait, that's the unflipped photo. There's no ante for this, so that may be true, but then I glanced at the report. You glanced at it. No gunpowder. Oh, so you knew. Right. Too remorseful, too apologetic in that note. Whatever it was about, his dominant arm modded with the documented sensitivity issues. Never could have made shots that clean, not without getting close enough to leave scorch marks. Not to mention he's too tall for the ballistics entry angles, and probably too heavy to not leave imprints. She got all of that from a glance? Damn, she's good. But I'm sure a competent lawyer like yourself pointed all that out the minute you walked in here. Of course. Worst part is, she's not even being sarcastic. Yeah, of course it couldn't have been him. Long-term relationship, physically imposing, argumentative, so not the type to bottle things up. He didn't match the profile. Profile? Yeah, Right, sorry, you probably never heard of it. I know what a goddamn profile is. A profile is a reconstruction of a criminal's psychology based on evidence from their crimes. Yeah, what's going on? Are you in the wrong job? Kind of fallen out of fashion for the last few decades. Not much need to guess about the why when 99 times out of 100 the who is caught on camera. Or before they even leave the house. I've had to find some real fossils and oddballs to get advice on how to go about it. But I think I'm getting the hang of it. Heartbreak's MO. It's Gumshoe. It's Gumshoe. He had a big heart, but no detective skills. Well, at least this heartbreak maniac will slow down now that he's lost his weapon. He didn't lose it. He chose to leave it behind. That tells me he's confident he can do just fine without it. And it just makes me even more certain that these aren't his only kills. Were there other shootings with the same MO? No, not that I found. Other victims that fit the description? No. But I'm not overly focused on the victim's appearance anyway. I mean, these 6 victims all look like each other, but they also look like a lot of people. That's true. Hell, they kind of look like me. Do they? Sure. What, you don't see it? I hadn't thought about it. Point is, no one can kill that cleanly when it's their first time. Is this some Ellen Light shit? Oh my god, it's kind of like that. The chessboard is constantly moving. Getting things that perfect takes practice. So I know that HK must have had a lot more than 6 occasions to practice, Morgan. And that's why I think heartbreak is a misnomer. You got something catchier in mind? I just don't think shooting them in the heart has any particular significance. If anything, it's a testament to their accuracy and their cold-blooded efficiency. The best possible use of 6 untagged bullets. 6 kills, guaranteed, no matter what kind of life support mods they were packing. Their real signature isn't the bullets or the gun. It's the perfection. That's hard to wrap your head around. I'm saying that these 6 murders were just a fluke, a slip-up, a mistake? Exactly, a mistake! They got too clean, too efficient, and now they've got the public's attention. It's no wonder they're so pissed. Are you talking about the crime scene? Yeah, probably threw the detectives for a loop, right? Based on what you said, I don't blame them. Whoever trashed that room doesn't seem like the smooth operator you've been describing. On the contrary. I don't follow. This was the last bullet, their last shot. The other 5 were perfect. So if anything was out of place this time around, they must have thrown one hell of a temper tantrum. That's true. That's true. She did throw a temper tantrum. You make them sound like a child. Childish and cowardly and two-faced. Someone who hates to lose almost as much as they love to win. Your profile telling you all that? Okay, you can't keep getting mad at the freaking district attorney for this, Morgan. You can't get mad at her. She's gonna sniff you out. No. That part's just takes one to know one. Huh. About profiling. So this profiling is some kind of investigative technique? The theory is that a crime can tell you something about the nature of the person who committed it. Stabbing, overkill, points to passion, rage, lust. They probably knew their victim. Poisons and guns, meanwhile, suggest they can't overpower their victim physically. And then there's things you can assume about nearly all serial offenders. Childhood trauma, prior criminal record, few or no meaningful attachments. There's a lot of recurring themes in their stories. The detectives say HK doesn't leave evidence. So how much can his crimes possibly tell you? That he's diligent, almost perfect, highly intelligent, painstakingly organized, and with enough criminal connections to get his hands on an untagged firearm. It's rare to see her this animated outside the courtroom. It's almost like she's enjoying herself. Oh god. A sheltered house cat who's picked up the scent of a mouse for the first time. Yeah, what's going on, Morgan? A lone wolf, educated, but all her playfully lethal instincts coming to life. Probably overqualified or undervalued. Though I'm not thrilled about the fact that in the metaphor, I would be the, know what I mean? Definitely! And considering the marksmanship. The detective said that HK would have needed insider information on optics. So does that mean heartbreaks in law enforcement? Never in 10 billion years. Oh. Antisocial, independent, despises authority. That'd be like a stallion applying for a job on a merry-go-round. They'd be kicking kids in the head after the first full rotation. Right, that's exactly how I'd put it. There must be some connection to the police, though. Maybe secondary or tertiary? These types can't help but insert themselves. Insert themselves? I don't do anything even resembling that. Wait, if HK's not a cop, how do they know about the blackout timing? Crime meta statistics analysis, probably. So a cop, shush you. Pardon? Take the emergency response times from across the city and map them out. Look for brief spikes and delays. Chart out the dips and... Sorry, technical, I know, but all the requisite data is publicly available. With a map, a spreadsheet, a calculator, anyone could reverse engineer the timing if they wanted to. That is such an unpleasant thought, Emma. So, to summarize, you're looking for a cold-blooded, faceless, perfectionist killer who you think has no persistent MO or victim type. In a city with an 8-digit population. Well, good luck. I don't need luck. I only need more information. Well, I'm sure the city would be happy to provide you with more resources. No, Morgan. I mean, I need more crime scenes. Oh. Sad truth is, if Heartbreak walked away today, I'd never catch them. Only way my net narrows is if they keep piling up bodies. Not a very fair trade, is it? No, it isn't. But getting screwed over is a given. It's a deal with the devil. 8 digits. That would be like at least 10 million, right? That's a lot of people. That's a big, big city. Fair enough. Woof. Okay, that rant was pretty morbid and detailed. I need to get out more, or sleep more, or sleep less but harder. You think a higher thread count would help? Don't worry about it. I'm always happy to listen to you ramble. It's a lot more pleasant than having to face you in the courtroom. Sorry, but that's the adversarial process. So no hard feelings, yeah? Oh, she's absolutely going to kill. She's thinking about her next kill right now. No hard feelings. We're both just doing what we do. Yep, we sure are. Wait, what did you mean by that? I could use a cup of coffee. How about you? Don't tempt me. If you fall asleep face first on the table, I won't even take a picture. Teehee, oh my god. Okay, just don't expect this to make a difference next time we're at each other's throats. Heartbreak won't claim any more victims. In 2 weeks, the media will have moved on to the next sensation. And the police will have moved on to the cases they actually stand a chance of closing. It's what people do. What is this picture? Is this how you talk to short people? But Emma is different. She'll set it aside and work a dozen other cases, never bringing it up. But a private corner of that frustratingly sharp mind of hers will continue to whittle away at it, never finishing, but never quitting either. So I can't afford to take my eyes off of her. As long as that's the case, I may as well try to enjoy the view. That's very Yuri-ful. Episode 0 end! Hey, there you go. Prologue? Post-credits? Who are you? Android. Which means you're going to be living with my friend for a while. For how long? I'm sorry, I don't know. Whomst? There's no need to look that upset over it. My face barely moved. It may have well been a blatant pout from where I'm sitting. Yeah, like that. This friend of yours, they're trustworthy? Absolutely. In fact, I trust them more than anyone. Hey, come on. It'll be fun. Really? Really? Educational too. I think you could stand to learn a lot from someone like Morgan. Oh no! This android is in trouble! No! Don't do it! No! Art and art direction by Evil Little Bug. Programming by Patrick MCF. 3D modeling by Air Renders. Environments by Patrick MCF, Air Renders. Written / directed / developed by Brian Mulholland. Volunteer playtesting by Griston, Hugh J, Maxi, Sadie Virtuous Varmint, S Thumbbutt, Thomas Collimander, Wee Xenons. Special thanks to Adrienne, Ultralunx, Anna, Killjill VT, Mado, Mudmonks. Special thanks to Dev Talk, Philly Game Mechanics, our friends and family. You, the players! Made with Unity. Nananovel.ween pro. Okay, yeah, you get it. And he shall appear. Boom! There you have it. Oh my god. To be continued in. You're the smartest person I know, Morgan, when it comes to people. Personally, I think it's cool to bring something that flawed into the world. You're a criminal defense attorney, and we're at a crime scene. I think I can guess what happens next. I've never stolen anything that wasn't already compromised. Oh, we're getting like the anime style bumper at the end. Work hard and the company will have you set for life, and after too. Can't tell you how many musicians I've seen screwed over by a big smile and a fat signing bonus. So that's not just a lawyer job thing? You dress like a doorman on weekends too? No, Reyes. Compared to determining fault, determining cause of death is like a breath of fresh air. The company wheels don't stop spinning for anything. We can't hope to keep this quiet for very long, but it's a million times more likely than the alternative. That heartbreak could ever stop themselves from killing. Father said that you owed him. I don't do anything out of the goodness of my heart. But when I take her job, I never half-ass it. Yeah. Of the Devil, episode 1. What's the title? An Idle Mind. Yes, let's go. Episode 0 results. 2 articles, 6 profiles, 18 key terms, 16 pieces of evidence, 32 credits. Congratulations, you finished episode 0 with 32 credits. You also unlock concept art and bonus scenarios based on your highest score for episode 0. You also have a total of 32 remaining store credits spent on phone charms and case colors based on the highest credit which with you finished this episode. Wait, concept? I want to see the concepts. Oh, look. How does that hair work? I love that. That's so cool. Cool. London. We got the Reyes. Was she blue at one point? Cool. Blue Reyes. We got Carlos. These are cool. Oh my god, yeah. Save the bonus scenarios till after episode 1. Okay, got it. I'll do that. Android. Heart fake killer? Wait, what is this? I hope this is okay. That's fine. Okay, that's it. Purchase episode 1. Hi there. Yeah. Either way is fine, but after episode 1. Okay. Cool. Main menu. Okay. What was that about the phone charms? Do they not? Oh, okay. We get a new little thing here. Bonuses. I want the phone charms. How do I do the phone charms thing? There's a photo using the profile. Store. It's probably here, right? Bonuses menu on the top left. The card icon. Oh. Oh, here we go. Morgan. Oh, wait. I literally said that. It's called Morgan time. Okay, I have it now. It's Morgan time. That's cute. I want that actually. I hope they have that. I want this. That's cute. Look at her. I want that IRL. Cool. Awesome. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. They exist IRL? Heck yes. That's awesome. They sold the IRL at a con. That's awesome. That means they're out there. Nice. Well, that was really good. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I think we'll probably play episode 1. I think we'll probably continue on. It is on sale on Steam right now, I think. Other stuff in shop? Does it carry over? Do any of the credits carry over or no? Oh, I didn't even see all this. I don't know who any of these characters are yet, though. Only for phone charms and such. Okay. Teal phone case is cool. The white is cool. Red. Let's do red. Bigotry. Oh my god, that's so freaking. Ugh. I hate it. I hate this little bear in overalls so much. I want to toss it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Charmless. Beady little guy. Wait. Necomorg? Let me have it. Let me. Okay. All right. Well, that was fun. That was awesome. Thank you all for joining me for that. That was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I'll play episode 1 at some point in the future. Absolutely. It is on sale right now, so that's definitely something I could be looking into. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I really did enjoy it. Yeah, that was really cool. I'll continue on with it. For sure. That was very cool. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. Very cool. We will play more. It is also, yeah, I already said that. It's on sale. Blah. Okay, my voice. My voice is hoarse. I have to go rest my voice. 3 times as long. Nice. There's a lot of content in here then. I'm excited. Yes, rubbing my hands together. That's awesome. Okay, I will be back tomorrow with Path of Radiance, by the way. I'm going to be playing some Fire Emblem. And, yeah, we'll see how the scheduling goes. I can probably come back with this next week or sometime soon. Yeah. All right. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you all very much. I will see you tomorrow for Fire Emblem if you stop by for that. It'll start at 8 p.m. Eastern, same as today. All right. Bye. Thank you. Bye.